Hopefully this works.
Please fucking work.
I know, right? So hello, everyone. Hopefully we are live doing things.
I'm just gonna keep refreshing.
Gonna keep refreshing it. Let's do this. So yes, welcome everyone. This is our first hot soup of 2024. Did we figure it out? Is it working? Oh, hey, it's working.
Are we recording?
Are we recording? Not yet. Now we are. Let's go. All right. So welcome everyone. It is Hot Soup in 2024. We're doing the thing. And that thing is talking about Magic the Gathering and being
we're finally live.
And being silly bitches while we're at it. Let's be real. Yes.
I'm gonna be tweeting out, so that's why I'm not talking.
That is perfectly fine. So yes.
I introduced myself, obviously.
Well, yeah, of course. But yes, so welcome everybody. My name is Graham. I go by HamHocks42 on the internet. I'm joined by the one and only Brujaja. How we doing?
What's up, y'all? Brujaja, and I go by BrujajaGaming, also on the internet.
Wait, what? On the internet? You're on the internet?
Sometimes. Occasionally.
You ever introduce yourself on a piece of content and then realize, like, man, that introduction is like really well rehearsed and also kind of sweaty, and I should probably change it. I do that all the time when I do the little introduction. It's one of those moments where I'm like, where I do the thing, and this is one of those things I think everybody has these in their life in one place or another, where you're just like, all right, that's not amazing, but I will fix it later, and we'll get to it later. And that is exactly what my intro is. Like, I know.
Later happens.
It could be better. It could be better. Oh, I used to have a pretty good one. I was pretty proud of. I used to say something to the effect of greetings, ladies and gentle nerds. And I thought that was funny. I enjoyed it. But somebody pointed out that folks who are non-binary might feel excluded. And it's like, oh, I hadn't considered that, but now that you mention it, okay. And I've never been able to hear the expression "ladies and gentlemen" again ever since. I mean, there you go. I mean, that's all inclusive. Let's just, yeah.
Right? That's exactly why.
Everybody.
Like, nobody gets a compliment.
There we go. You'll love to see it. Oh, anyway. But welcome everyone. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be fun. So yes, so this show. I whenever I talk about the show, I'm always like, it's being Bruja, being just kind of goofy and unhinged. And if that sounds like fun, the total jackasses. That's the we are. Yeah, so we're talking magical gatherings and being silly bitches while we're at it. That is
legitimately silly.
That's the plan.
Mostly not. Well, you're not a bitch, but
anyway, that's arguable. But all right.
I'm using filters on our face.
Okay then.
Because I think it's funny.
Do I get to be a pig or little?
I'm gonna try to make us cats. Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
Oh.
All right.
Wait,
cool.
No, it's just you. No, now it's just me.
What the?
No.
But yes. So this is our first show of 2024. As of right now, as of this recording, as of this live stream, it has only been 2024 for. I mean, not four complete days yet. We're on the fourth day. Here we are.
4 entire days.
4 entire days of 2024. It's kind of thematic when you stop and think about it. Is it? I don't know. I'm overthinking it. That's what I do. I'm an English major. I look for symbolism everywhere. It's very important. All right. But yeah.
All right, Oscar Wilde. How's it going?
I mean, very gay. But anyway, no. So.
I mean, you right.
Nothing but love for the record for Oscar Wilde. I'm just saying. Anyway, but yes, so we are going to be diving into discussing 2023, kind of looking back, because I know for me it was a massive year. It was absolutely huge. And then we're also going to look forward to 2024 and kind of what that means.
I'm looking forward to a whole lot of stuff in 2024.
Me too. Oh my goodness. It's funny too. I'm at a point right now where my days are more packed than they've ever been. And I'm looking at the next couple of weeks, and I just keep piling stuff on as people are just like, hey, do you want to do a thing? Like, you betcha I do. Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, do you want to join my whatever? Yeah, of course I do. And I'm looking at it.
I'm going to stop asking you to do every single project. Because
I will say yes.
Oh my God.
I will absolutely 100% say yes. And yeah. But it's all good. Because it's wonderful, though, because the way that I see it, we are fortunate enough to have a lot of amazing, super creative friends who have similar aesthetics, similar tastes, and we all have similar interests. And so being able to surround ourselves with those kind of folks and being able to take advantage of those connections and those relationships in a fun, mutually productive way is
nice.
Priceless. Like, this is amazing. I feel, as somebody...
It's like such a con to play with my friends.
I mean, kinda, yeah.
Not a lot, especially my D&D campaign tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. I just, like, absolutely excuses to play with my friends.
100%. That's it.
Completely.
That's the name of the game right there. That's definitely what I'm up to. Like, it's a full-on con, and I love it. I get to hang out, like, wearing pajama pants playing Magic. Are you kidding me? Like, if people are actually coming here to, like, hang out while I do it?
Bet.
100%, sign me up. Yeah, it's the best. I love it. And this year has been a tremendous year full of growth and all kinds of...
Sorry, I am yawning.
You're good, no worries. For all kinds of opportunities. Like, fun fact, actually, the two of us have become really good friends over the last few months, but we actually just, like, really met this year, which is kind of fun when you stop and think about it.
It all started because I was bothering you in your chat.
Well done. Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
Like, all of my friendships with creators started. I'm like, it started because I was weird in your comments.
But you know what's fun? As a creator, and this is a fun little aside. But here's the thing though, you're not weird. Believe it or not, you're not being like weird. It's not.
I'm not trying to be.
No, but you're generally nowhere near. Like, you are far more charming and welcoming than you think. I need to make that abundantly clear. Because here's the thing, as a creator. If anyone is interacting with me, oh my goodness, absolutely. We have, like, somebody cares. Hello. And, like, of course, get in here. Absolutely. Here. Like and subscribe. You know, like, all that jazz.
It's just this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, somebody's looking at me. Look at me. Yes, this is great. Because that's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to build an audience. We're trying to grow a community. So anybody who is expressing interest in being a part of that community is going to be a welcome person.
That's why people will ask me on a fairly regular basis, what can I do to support you? Or like, I don't have any money. I'm like, you don't need it. Just don't like something.
Just be here. Yep.
Repost something, follow something, whatever. Save some. I don't give a shit. Any interaction fucking helps.
All of it. And if you're here on YouTube or over on Twitch, follow, subscriptions, whatever it's called on that platform, or you just like press the button so that you'll be notified if they go live or post something. That little act of pressing follow or subscribe goes such a long way. Those stats are looked at. Like, people do keep an eye on those. Those do count. And additionally, those show, more importantly, like, obviously people see that number, but the algorithms see that number. And so if you want to show support for somebody, like on YouTube, like every single one of their videos. Like, that is just going to let the algorithm know, hey, there are people interested in this stuff. You know?
I'm cheating.
What?
I'm spamming the hearts from my main account.
I mean, you can do that. Oh my goodness, I love it. Oh, and I can't. Anyway.
What up, gamer?
I love it. Let's go. Anyway, but yeah, so little things like that do go a long way. They really do. And so one of the things that I know for me, my channel experienced some really intense growth near the end of 2023, or no, the end of 2022. And I was actually able to sustain it for the most part through 2023, and it was incredible. My personal Twitch channel, I was, I hit a pretty epic milestone in January. And I was actually able to make Twitch partner, which is really, it was a cool achievement. But people stuck around. And like, that's something that I find really amazing. I fully expected to say like, hey guys, I could use some help to get into Twitch partner, and have a couple of months of everybody show up, and then like, all right, he got it, great, and then peace out. And I was expecting that, and it didn't really happen. There have been ups and downs, as there always is, but for the most part, it's been just a genuinely positive experience at a time when Magic on Twitch, like Magic Arena on Twitch, has not been amazing over the last few years.
It's not huge.
No, it used to be
pretty small.
Mm-hmm. It's honestly, a very small category compared to most others out there.
Each like time slot, there's kind of like the streamers that pull hundreds to over 1,000 viewers, and then 50 and under.
The unwatched masses below them. Yeah, exactly. Oh, well, yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of people that are watched, but like the 100 to 50 and under.
Yeah, but
not that that's a bad thing.
No.
But it's just like, because there's not necessarily a lot of people actually watching Magic streams at any given time. It's like half of them are taken up by these badasses.
Yeah, totally.
And
they all deserve it, for the record. They're all great. Yeah, absolutely. Nothing but love for the people at the top. Absolutely.
Like, what's on in the background? Voxy, most of the time.
Well, and if you've ever hung out in a Voxy stream for any amount of time, you understand why. It's like, oh, wait, she's good at the game.
Fucking funny.
Yeah, she's good at the game. High energy. She's hilarious. It's like, okay, this checks out. Like,
and I don't even get to watch most of what she's doing because I have her on in the background while I'm working. I'm just cracking up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially, I'll be editing and hear her between like shit, and sometimes it's just unhinged, and I have no context.
That's fantastic. I love it. Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
So that kind of thing, exactly. But to your point, if you look at the Magic category on Twitch, you'll see 3 people, maybe, with more than 100 viewers, maybe 5 in like the prime time situation with over 100, and a lot of them have like 300 to, I think you have like Croaky and CGB who can pull in like 1,000 or 2,000 even. Like that's an anomaly on this category. Yeah,
he's like
they're their own thing.
Streamer.
Yeah, 100%. Exactly. That's just like it's just the daytime Magic streamer. If anybody's just curious about Magic,
he was my early morning streamer for a long time.
Yeah,
I used to work in a mechanic's office. Well, in the office at a mechanic shop. That's what I meant.
Well, it's funny because as a morning streamer myself, I see his name on my stats pretty much all the time. It's like, where did my views come from? It's like I see Croaky's listed there because when I go live, there are some people, a very small portion of his audience to be fair, but some people who peel off to come see me. Like,
sorry, I just realized that my hair straightener was in the way.
It's all good, no worries. But in any event, so like,
I didn't want to be doing this down here. This looked bad.
It was a little weird, but yeah, no, thanks for kind of letting folks know what was going on. Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, so as a Twitch streamer, it's been a really wild ride. And this year has been one that has been absolutely fantastic. That honestly, for me, it has been a historic year. Or an historic year, if you want to be that guy. It's been fantastic. I also can speak from very confident, very comfortable experience. If any other Twitch streamers out there, the dashboard presents the idea of getting to partner as the end boss of streaming. It treats it like the end game. Yeah,
it's like it's
all your stats. Like,
here's your list of accomplishments and goals.
And they put it front and center. It's like, okay, here was your stream summary. Here's how close you are to partner, or here's how close you are for the privilege of filling out a form applying for partner. I can now say, as somebody who's gotten it, actually getting to partner is meaningless. It is fully unnecessary. It is an achievement. It is just like getting that 200 Xbox gamer score thing. It's like, yeah, it's like, oh, I collected all the freaking purple sparkles or whatever. I don't freaking know. Whatever
behind the scenes,
it doesn't
like,
really make a difference.
Nothing changes.
No, nothing whatsoever. Because
you and I make the same amount of money per subscription. I'm an affiliate who peaks on their own absolute max at 20, but usually I hover between 10 and 12.
Right. Yeah, and the last couple of months I've been averaging over 90. Yeah, and that's 90 to 100 is kind of my usual, is my zone right now. I'm very fortunate. I love that people actually enjoy the kind of nonsense that I'm putting down. It means a lot. So thank you, everybody. You're great. But at the same time, yeah, exactly. We make the same amount of money on subscriptions, and I crunch the numbers, and even at my level, which by most people's account is pretty successful, and I'm very, very fortunate. I'm very grateful to be where I'm at. But the reality is, hey, Gozer, what up? My, but even at my level, I'm making less than minimum wage. Like, significant. I'm making like half the, well, I'm making almost the corporate minimum, or almost the federal minimum wage. But anyway, that's a whole other story. That's.
Man, you're making that much?
Well, for each hour I'm live, I'm making about $6 right now. Which, I'm still behind on some bills, if I'm completely honest, so I'm doing what I can.
So please subscribe below.
Please like and subscribe. But the other thing about that is, one of the things that I've been doing this past year and I'm going to continue to do moving forward is doing more collaborations and trying to build other channels and other avenues, because I believe
part of the reason I keep harassing you to be on my channel.
Well, and
that's also why I started bugging Doggo Dude to get on my channel, because he really wasn't doing any streams, but he wasn't on Twitter. He's on Twitter, but he's not on Twitter the way he's on TikTok. He's a TikTok creator. So he wasn't really that embedded in the community or known. So
which I find amazing, because one of the things
I yelled at Miletown to put a damn email in his bio, and then he started being able to make content like paid for a company. He was like, "Thank you so much." I'm like,
yeah, it's right. Just do it. Yeah, exactly.
Just
put it out there,
you idiot.
Yeah, exactly. So, and
get successful. God damn it.
Well, and the thing is, like, I feel like there are a bunch of different tiers, right? And obviously you have the creators who are at the tippity top who are absolutely crushing it. And obviously, like, in the mainstream media or in more popular categories like Fortnite or Call of Duty or whatever, they're making like millions of dollars. Okay, I don't believe any Magic creator out there, even the absolute best of the best, is making millions of dollars. I don't believe that's a thing. I have access to those numbers. Thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, perhaps, which is still killing it. Absolutely, get out there, you make it happen. That's awesome.
But that's like the professor,
right? Yeah, right. But
that's maybe it.
Well, it's funny because I think I remember seeing an episode where the professor got like his gold play button or something like that, and I realized, like, wait, you only, like, that's it? And like I realized the number of subscriptions that the best Magic creators have. As far as YouTube is concerned, they're very much mid-tier channels still. You know, because we're in a niche. We're in a small niche as far as the world is concerned, right? And it is what it is.
Emma Skyward had tweeted around after TwitchCon that she went to the creator party, the partner party.
Yeah.
And pretty much immediately left because she didn't know a single person in the room. And she was like, big streamer in a little game, probs. And I'm like, oh, that's a good point.
That's it. That's exactly it. Big streamer in a little game.
And then I immediately was like, I need to branch out a little bit.
Yep. Yeah, so come watch us play Baldur's Gate next week.
That's why I'm like D&D.
Yeah, and I actually have my very first playthrough of Baldur's Gate. I have my first playthrough of Baldur's Gate over on my YouTube channel, which has been really, really fun. And fun fact, I've been streaming my Baldur's Gate playthrough over on my YouTube channel. We were just talking about my Magic Twitch streams getting around 90 and upwards of 100 viewers pretty consistently at this point. You know how many average streamers my Baldur's Gate streams have on my YouTube channel?
How many?
Like 2. It's almost nobody. But the truth is, it's a different category, it's a different platform, and my presentation is completely different. And it's a game that it's a story-driven game that a lot of people want to experience for themselves. So I suspect a lot of people are avoiding.
Looking at chat.
Yeah. You're good. But so I find it kind of interesting. But the reality is, one of the things that I gave myself was a little bit of grace on that, because it would have been very easy after the first 2-3 sessions for me to look at it and go, like, this isn't working.
Yeah, we're done.
This clearly isn't working.
When we first started, we had 2 viewers.
Yep, absolutely.
One of them was our best friend who had us lurking.
Absolutely, and it's lovely.
It.
Yeah, and you know what? And we're still very much getting...
It was one guy in New Zealand who told me he just didn't want no one to be watching me.
Aww.
And like, I haven't heard from that guy in a long time. I really hope I do again, because I will never forget that. That meant a lot to me, because he found me on Suicide Girls, and I used to stream there all the time. And a lot of people ended up coming over and following, and my first few subscribers were all people who were supporting me from Suicide Girls. So I had people watching, but it was that guy every time.
That's awesome.
Every single time. Even if he was just lurking, he was always there.
That's really cool.
It was very sweet.
Yeah, well, and I know when I was first getting started, I was, I was streaming in the mornings before going off to my day job. And it was a very short stream, and it was at the very early morning. It started at like 5:30 a.m. my time. Yeah. Oh, no, I've shifted that down now that I have a little more flexibility.
Hamilton.
Yeah, it was pretty ridiculous. That's how much I wanted to do it,
Yeah, no, we do wild things.
We do, and as a result,
till 3 a.m. now. I don't want to.
That's bananas, but yeah.
But it's working. That's where my audience is.
Kick ass. I'm glad to hear that.
That's the brand I have, so it is what it is.
Yeah, but and one big point of pride that I have is that people who were there with me 4 years ago when I first started will still pop in every now and then and say hi. You know? Like whenever I see that little founder badge show up on somebody's name, it just I cannot express. And I'll always remember the very first chatter I ever had. I remember their name. And I remember freaking the hell out the first time it happened. Like, oh my goodness, somebody's in chat. What's going on? I was like, hello, don't leave. It was very awkward.
Hello, I love you.
Hello, I love you. Exactly, 100%. Like, you're my best friend. Yeah, it's a whole thing. But and also never forget my first subscription when I made affiliate. You know, like that. Those things make a big difference. Like, yeah. And for me, streaming was a whole personal thing as well. Like trying to reclaim some agency and purpose in my life at a time when I wasn't really feeling those things. So those will always hold a very special place in my heart to the day I die. I know it. Those will be big moments that I will never forget.
I can feel that. I started streaming at the point I did because there was finally no one around who wouldn't let me.
Oof. Yeah. It's all about freedom. Absolutely.
Yo.
Yeah. That's wild. All right, do we want to get into it, or so we can yeah. I'm more than happy to get schmoopy and vulnerable on this. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna keep yawning.
You're fine. It's all good. But no, it's funny.
I should have had more coffee.
No, you're fine. I actually, you know what? That actually does sound really good. I'm about to say if you're gonna do a whole other stream, but in any event. So we were talking about
I end up having G Fuel.
There you go. Get after it. Yeah, they're not sponsors of this channel. However, yeah. Anyway.
Use my code BrujajaGaming. I have no idea where the money goes, but
so Magical Gatherings. But yeah, so in 2023, Magic saw a whole bunch of fun stuff. We got a whole bunch of new stuff. We've also there was a embracing of Universes Beyond in a way that I don't think we've seen in the past, which was huge. We also had some major story beats in the main canon of Magic to mixed reviews, which if you want to hear me just full-on nerd rage about plot structure and narrative payoff, boy howdy do I have feelings. Yeah. That said, March of the Machine is still an amazing set, and I absolutely adore it because it gave us some of the most ridiculous designs that the game has ever seen. So yeah, and new commander stuff. So many new commanders and things.
The precons this year.
The precons, yes.
The pecons.
The cons,
if we may.
Yeah. So, were there any specific ones you wanted to talk about? Because boy howdy, again, I'm going to use that expression boy howdy a lot.
Quite literally. Hold on. Let me actually pull up a list of everything that did come out this year.
Because we had a number. So every single standard set now comes with, 3 to 5 commander decks, just cuz, and a whole bunch of unique commander cards that appear in the set boosters and collector boosters. And we also have, I realize as I'm gesticulating with my hand, it makes it look like I'm putting my hand in your face. Fun fact, we're not in the same room actually, believe it or not. This is all smoke and mirrors. This is, the joys of green screens, everybody. But yeah, so all the standard sets now have precons, and there were standalone precon products, such as the Doctor Who set, that whole thing. And not even, I mentioned standard products get commander precons.
So it was just Lord of the Rings and Doctor Who.
Well, those were the two non-standard sets that were the big ones, yes.
That was it.
What?
That was it.
As far as precons go, that's not correct. Because I know
Universes Beyond goes.
Universes Beyond, yes. As far as Universes Beyond, those were the two big Universes Beyond products. There were a handful of other secret layers, but who cares? It's funny. As a content creator, I feel like we've kind of been expected to cover all the secret layers when they come out, and I know some places do. Well, it's super hard, but again, like, I've every time I talk about secret layers, either on my stream or I've stopped trying to do it on my YouTube channel. Like straight up, I've just given up completely, because I feel like the end result every time is just like, these cards are worth something. If you want these for your commander decks, here's a fun, different art style. If you like this, buy it. If you don't, don't. Like, it's just, the art styles carry the secret layers to a point where if you don't like the art style, then the actual, the secret layer itself doesn't really do anything. With, there was a notable exception to that, though, this year. There was one secret layer that came out. So for the vast majority of secret layers, if you like them, get them. If you don't, don't. Super subjective. There was one that came out this year, secret layer, that I think the entire community looked at and went, the hell is this? And that I kind of love. And that was the Ralph Bakshi Lord of the Rings secret layer. This secret layer was the most ridiculous, unapologetic, hasty cash grab I have ever witnessed in my life. And that is coming from a Magic player who keeps up with all of the Magic products. This was like 4 cards or 5 cards that all had artwork from the Ralph Bakshi animated Lord of the Rings movies from like the 70s, I believe. I'm
glad you're just talking right now, because oh my god, I'm looking for a like comprehensive list.
Yeah. It's all good. I got you.
So I apologize.
But this secret layer, over here, if I can remember which direction to point, this secret layer had like 4 cards in it, all of which were just like reskin commons or uncommons. The total value of the cards themselves was around like $2, if that. And they were selling it for like $30 or $40 if you wanted the foil. It was the most ridiculous product that Wizards has come out with since the Magic 30, but that's a whole other thing. And that was the previous year. Hey, Shug, what up, my dude? Welcome, welcome. Thank you for being out here. Appreciate you. All right. But yes, so that was one where it was absolutely ridiculous. And it really just came down to a matter of why these cards? You could have taken this exact same artwork and put them on more meaningful cards at higher rarities that demanded a higher price on the secondary market. It would have been great. Would have been absolutely great.
Okay, I found all the precons.
You found all the precons? You got them?
Yes.
All right.
There is no like list. I'm gonna have to scroll a lot.
A lot of scrolling. I can imagine. There's a lot.
I'm gonna send you the link so I don't
please do. That'd be great.
Through this alone.
Cool. Yeah, because there are an obscene number of precons these days. So to the point where if you want to keep up, 25 of them. 25.
We're not gonna talk about all 25. I've decided it for us.
And I'll be honest, I've played with a couple of them, but not really that many. So I'm happy to speak to them, but I have minimal experience. Although, I gotta say, one of the things that I noticed this year in playing against precons, they seem a lot stronger than they used to be.
Yeah.
Like,
I've heard that.
Yeah, I remember, you know, I played against a number of precons at various conventions, or, you know, in little pickup games here and there, and every time I'm like, that is out of the box? Like, oh, they have
the Pantlaza precon.
Mm-hmm. The Pantlaza precon slaps. That thing is.
And Minnie is the timey-wimey precon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like, it's funny, there's a time when you upgraded a precon, the idea that the precon out of the box, the power level on it was low. That was the expectation. Like, this deck cannot hang with curated commander decks, but it gives you a place to start. Slap. Yeah, no, exactly. It's just like an old school starter deck. You know,
I
like
got the Dahada one.
Yeah.
Like, I had to take it apart a little bit because I really needed the damn legendaries, which is extremely upsetting, but I would like to reassemble that deck.
Okay.
Because... Excuse you? I'm sorry? Are you out of your mind? Who allowed this?
I mean, fair question.
Zatalpa has never been so deadly. Let that sink in.
Wait, Zatalpa?
Are
you flapping?
What's her name?
1-800, are you flapping? Is that
yes?
Yeah. We all know the meme. Yeah.
Shit, did I say her name right?
Zatalpa? Yeah, you did.
Okay. I have so many issues reading Magic cards names.
Yeah.
Such a problem.
Yeah. It's a double problem done.
Is it neurologic? Is it stupidity? We'll never know.
Maybe she's born with it? No, anyway. Sorry. Anyway.
Maybe she's born with it. Maybe it's brain disease.
There it is. Oh. Oh my goodness. That's so good. And that right there, this is exactly why I love, connecting with so many other creators at kind of this mid-tier in the Magic space, because there's a lot of wit and a lot of lovely stuff happening, and for some reason, not a lot of eyeballs on it. So, yeah, I know that that's going to change.
There's no justice in this world, and
I know, right?
We ought to leave it behind.
We'll get there. We will get there. But yeah, so the Pantlaza Precon is fantastic. And yeah, it's real good. It's real good.
Sorry, literally, okay, so my boyfriend has fallen in love with dinosaurs in Magic. Can you blame him, first of all? They're so fun. Cannot blame him. Do understand.
Totally.
So he was hyped for Ixalan. He was really hyped for Ixalan. And then this fat piece of shit dropped.
Yeah.
And this was right after I built him a Kahira deck to start. It's his first deck. I figured this is so straightforward. Let him use big, stupid creatures. Let him crater hoof.
Yeah.
Give him the classic wins. Go nuts. And he
after it.
really enjoys it.
Yeah, totally.
So, of course he likes dinosaurs. Of course. First time you yeet out a Galta, you don't forget it.
You sure don't. Yeah.
So,
well, in old school Galta, the notion of just like, wait a minute, this cost me 2 mana. Is it 12/12? And it trampled?
Before this set even released, he goes, baby, I think I want to build a mono green dinosaur deck. I was like,
I mean,
so you're a green mage, huh?
Is what it is. Yep.
At least you're not a blue mage.
That's a whole thing. That's a vibe.
Said the Sultai player.
I mean, yeah.
Said the Dimir lover.
I know, right? It's funny. Somebody asked me not too long ago, what are your favorite colors in Magic? And I said black, red, black, green, it's black, red, and green in that order. I need to like in that order. It's like, yes, I'm kind of Jund, but really I'm a black mage, and the other stuff, and red supplements it well. Yeah. Because you got to put the things in the graveyard somehow, right? And,
I'm black, green, blue.
There you go.
And then white, and then red. And I don't have anything against red. And just every time I play it, I ask myself, why am I playing red? There's exceptions. Rakduzi and Grixis Mean Girl Club.
I have one very simple reason why you play red.
Like mono red, and even then, Rakdos, one commander, and I'm not even good at it. I have Raphael. This guy. This fucking guy.
This fucking guy. This fucking guy. This guy right here. This guy. I love this fucking guy. This is why you play red. It's funny. So every couple of months, Wizards will send out like an automated email to everybody who's played Arena with your stats. You know, the amount of gold you earned, the number of daily wins you got. And one of the things it includes is your favorite color. You know, what's your favorite? What's the favorite color that you played? And I love it when my buddy Astral's Flame, who is a dedicated and dyed-in-the-wool Jund mage, his favorite color is very often white, and it's hilarious. It's like, good work, bud. Like, it's lies, I promise. Like, sure, whatever.
I really love Orzhov. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I have one Orzhov deck.
Okay.
Lieza Forgotten Archangel.
Ooh, that one's great. Yeah. But anyway, my favorite color is often red. And I don't play the mono red deck. Like the mono red like weenie deck, I never play that deck. I build
a Koth Oathbreaker deck for the new Koth that had come out.
Ooh, okay. It's funny. This is a card that in 2023 that I might have had to eat more crow on than just about anything. There were a couple of cards where during preview season I specifically said this card sucks. What the hell was this? And this was one of those where it's like, hey, Koth being alive was an amazing story beat. It was triumphant. We were so excited. Hell yes. And I remember very, very vehemently saying, Koth deserved better than this. This card is trash. What are they doing? Damn it. And then, like, within a week of this card coming out, one of my viewers built a Brawl deck with this and proceeded to kick the crap out of me repeatedly.
Oh God!
Because that's the thing.
A Brawl deck with Koth is so fun.
It's disgusting. Like, yeah, it feels like mono red Golos. It's ridiculous. Like,
the fact that we don't see it more is wild to me.
It's nuts. Well, but the thing is, it is a red card. It is a mono red card, but it is not an aggro card, which is what you associate with. It's control.
Commander. I'm surprised we don't see it more.
Yeah, this is a control planeswalker. Which is, it's like red with red control. Why would you do that? Well,
oh my God, that's why I like him so much. It's control.
He's control. He's 100% control. And so the moment you put him in a deck with very few creatures, board wipes and direct burn for days, and on top of that, in older formats or formats like Brawl, you can run. I've seen it in Historic where you'll run like Cleansing Wildfire and the Indestructible Lands so you get mono red ramp as well, so you can ramp and control the board comfortably with Burn Down the House, Anger the Gods, these kind of wipes as well. And before you know it, he's just getting you mountains every single turn. If you can save him, if you can protect him for just a single turn, you uptick, and well, no, it takes 2 turns, sorry, but you end up getting the emblem way faster than you think you should. It's absurd how quickly that emblem shows up. And the moment that emblem shows up, your opponent is screwed. It's going to take you a few turns to grind him out with it, but it's going to happen. It's gnarly. The card is shockingly good. It is significantly better than...
His Brawl deck, unreasonable. I'm surprised I don't see more Brawl decks with him.
Me too. Because it's very, very good.
It's a little wonky for red, but control players, where are you at?
Like, yeah.
What are you doing?
Jeskai with a heavy lean on red could easily do this.
It up.
Yeah, make it happen, everybody. Make it happen. It's great. Yeah.
What the hell are the precons came out today?
Yeah, sure. Numbers from rookie numbers.
We had Mom.
Yep. So there was Mars the Machine.
Precon releases. We got new Brimaz. We got a Sidar Night Tribal.
That's Sidar deck is not messing around.
Bright Palm, which was 1/1 with backup commander.
That one, I remember when that one first came out, a lot of people were really high on it.
And then Khosla, the Convoke commander.
I don't remember that at all. I gotta be honest.
Now with all the Convoke stuff that came out,
I mean,
she might be worth revisiting.
It's possible. Yeah, I feel like those precons for the most part were pretty. I mean, they were good, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. They were they felt very straightforward. Like the
I lied. There were more. And then Take Your Time, which was Gimbal, which was artifact tokens. Forgot about that. And I was like, wait a minute, I know there's more. And then there was the Poison one, which I actually got, never played, and took apart. Fucking XL, Scion of Atraxa. And then there was the Attacking with Tokens, Neali, Sun's Vanguard. That was a Boros one.
Well, those were all V1, right?
Oh yeah, those were all V1.
Yep. All good.
Those last two were all V1, but Gimbal was the other one from Mom.
Gimbal. Yeah, I forgot about this little guy. Yeah. But yeah, so I feel like a lot of the cards from Mom, it was kind of appropriate that the precons in March of the Machine were themes and styles that we've seen before. Like Gimbal here at the beginning of your end step, create a Gremlin artifact token. Like, this almost feels to me like a 3-color card for reasons that's kind of like Brutaclad at home is kind of the vibe I get from this guy. Like, I know mechanically they're different, but like, I don't know. It involves red, it involves blue, it cares about artifact creatures. You guys get, and it makes tokens. You guys get the vibe. So that it, but I'm thinking from a thematic perspective, it makes sense that in March of the Machine, the decks felt familiar because we have an invasion of all these different planes, and trying to create something new that feels like a bunch of the different places we've been before kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Like Gimbal is, if I'm not mistaken, I mean the Gremlins, those were from Kaladesh. And then you have like Bright Palm, who is like Kamigawa. Like that is very clearly Kamigawa.
Like first that picture. Kamigawa AF, literally unmistakable.
Yep. Yeah.
Also, arguably one of the top 3 most beautiful planes.
I'm a fan of it. Yeah. Do we need to have a diatribe or a tangent? That's the word I'm looking for. About most beautiful planes out there.
No, there's 25 pre-cons.
I'm down. Kamigawa's definitely on the list.
We got plenty of things to go sideways with.
Fair. But to this day, actually, I've kept a ton of basic lands from when I first started playing in the early 2000s, and the Kamigawa, the saviors of Kamigawa Islands and swamps are some of my favorite in the entire game. I adore them.
The Dynasty ones.
Also lovely.
I saw many, and I'm. Love them.
It's so good.
Love. The lands are always something I'm such a sucker for.
Well, and we've reached a point now. I guess that's another thing we can touch on.
So blinged.
I know, right? Well, every set now, I think I can say that without qualification at this point. Every set has a full art land variant. At this point. And I've heard a lot of people complaining about that because, like, oh, they're not special anymore. Which, okay, I can kind of appreciate that. But the aesthetic from all of them are very unique compared to
they're all different. Why isn't it? Why not?
Why not? That's the bottom line, in my opinion. I personally think it's fantastic. I am 100% down to clown on there being full arts everywhere. And
I love blinging out my stuff.
Right? And for those full arts to depict very different places, very different styles, I love that. Oh, and here we go. I found the, one of the islands I was talking about. Old school Kamigawa,
that's
man.
So beautiful.
Vintage Kamigawa, I love it. But that's the other thing. We have all these full art lands now, and they all have these very blinged out variants that people really gush about, or like violently or very vocally dismiss. Like then they feel the need to express their disdain for them. Whatever.
Yeah, doggo, dude.
I know, right? Come on, man. Just be cool. Let us like our thing.
Legitimate friend of the show, don't worry.
Absolutely, no, Doggo Dude's great. But I just find it funny that even the basic boring versions of lands are all gorgeous. Like, all this art is fantastic. Like, even the most basic ones. Like, even, and I'm not just saying, like, in the past.
I go through, if I don't have enough to bling a deck, the stuff I go grab is like, what are my prettiest basics? I'm still looking for the aesthetic. Eldraine basics and Kamigawa basics are my favorite.
They're fantastic.
Absolute
yeah, I mean,
favorite.
Like, here we go. Here's a random basic island that I just scrolling through Scryfall from Midnight Hunt.
Beautiful.
This is gorgeous. Like, this is an amazing piece of art. Like
the Innistrad stuff, those alt arts.
They're pretty. They're very pretty. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those are the one Doggo Dudes hates the most.
Yeah, the black and white ones that all look like swamps.
He hates them because they're black and white. You can't immediately tell from across the table what they are, which I understand. But shut up, Doggo.
Well, it's funny.
A reasonable point can shove it.
Yeah, I have a handful of these, and I find the planes especially interesting, and those actually read pretty decently. Like, they're not terrible. Like, they are better than I expected. When I first saw like the swamp of the island, I was like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be terrible. But then actually, like, the planes have enough white space in them where they're pretty clear what's going on. You know, that's not too bad, I don't think.
Damn, gorgeous.
And they're very pretty. Yeah, they're lovely. Yeah, and what's amazing, so here's the thing about it. In the past, full arts were limited to basically just the unsets. Because people didn't want to buy unsanctioned or unglued. Because, yeah, you're going to play them once with your friends as you're, like, clucking like chickens and throwing your cards around, and then what do you do? Like, you know, you just put it away and just have it, or you try to sell it to somebody else, but they're not worth anything because they're not open, or they're not sealed anymore. Like, even some of the finest uncards from back in the day, or some of the funniest, aren't really worth money because you can't play with them. They're literally illegal game pieces, unless your play group's cool, of course. But that's aside. That is what it is. Yeah. And so they included full art lands in those packs in order to sell them, and it was the only place you could find them. That was the only game in town. And so as a result, people were buying packs of unglued and bought packs of, you know, unhinged and unsanctioned. By that point, I think they were becoming a little more normalized. But in any event, that they were unique and special. And when you saw somebody roll up with a commander deck full of John Avon unglued basics, it was like, holy cow, like, damn. It turned your head, right? Because
I'm playing with the 1%. I see.
Oh, exactly. So, pardon me, over here with my peasant decks. It was because they were incredibly rare, incredibly expensive, and they were just premium because they were unique. And now we've reached a point where, we've now reached a point. Oh, here we go. And it's funny actually. By today's standards, the original, oh, I'm sorry. These were the first ones from Unglued. They were actually by Chris Rush. I'm sorry. Yeah, Christopher Rush.
Pretty.
I know, right? They're gorgeous, and they're fun, and they're nostalgic for a lot of people, and that carries a lot of value.
Like, I would love that. I love the vintage borders and stuff, so I've got those in there as part of what I consider bling. I love it.
Oh, I think they're great. And nowadays, we get these borderless treatments in every frickin' set, and as a result, they're not special anymore, you know? But, as a result, too, anybody can roll up with fancy basics in their deck. To the point where if you're running non-fancy basics in your deck, people think there's something wrong. Which is funny, because I run non-fancy basics all the time, and I love it. And I'm not sorry. And a lot of them are, like, my old school...
Basics are basics.
Basics are basics. But a lot of them are my old school, like, Onslaught basics from when I first started playing, or the ones from, you know, the ones from Kamigawa or OG Mirrodin. Because that was what Magic was to me as a kid, you know? Yeah. And so, those were the basics that I run because they make me happy. And I already have them, so they're free. That's nice, too. But I'm of the opinion that this is a good thing. I say keep the fancy borderless versions coming. Make them super duper uber cheap. You know? Why not? Well, who are you hurting by giving everyone fun, fancy basics? Also, at the end of the day, why not? Like, why not bling out? I know, right? Why not bling out the basics? Incredible. These are gorgeous. I love it. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
The Eldraine lands were hand-cut paper.
Wait.
That's not digital.
I love it. I love it so much. Yeah, they're getting a little more creative. Out of control. Yeah, they're getting more creative with magic art, and it's a beautiful thing.
It's incredible, and I appreciate it. Because I know so many people just really love the art, and let's be real, it's a big draw point for a lot of people.
Oh my goodness, yes.
So many people. It's me. I'm people.
Oh yeah, so wait, these ones? This was all done with
It is paper.
Oh, that is incredible. I love it.
Sorry, I lose my mind for these. I love them so much.
No, that's great.
So gorgeous.
And they're fantastic. And these were just showing up in packs. This is a way to add value to a standard $4 or $5 pack. Or, I mean, we have the play boosters coming, so $8 packs. I don't know, whatever they're going to be. Keep these coming. And I love the idea. So this is actually cut out paper. I love that. One of my favorite pieces of magic art of all time happens to be on a card that I absolutely adore, that I have a sneaking suspicion you probably like too. because it's not a painting.
Of course, I love Binding of the Old Gods.
Binding of the Old Gods is so good. But yeah, this
is not a painting.
This isn't a painting. This is a woodcut. This is actually a piece of wood that was carved to depict this story. Yeah. And they took a photo of the woodcut, and that's what they used.
I feel like I should play it more now.
I know, right? I own so many copies of these, and I still don't have enough. It's in every single EDH deck that can support it, because oh my goodness, it's so good. But anyway, yeah. But yeah, so I'm fully on board. I love. Also, by the way, the Lord of the Rings lands. If we're just gushing over lands real quick,
another one Doggo hates.
And why?
Because it's all green. So he doesn't look like a plains.
But it looks like the maps that were in the books that I read as a kid that made me happy.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't look white.
But
therefore it's bad. No white, it's bad.
Anyway, there's a symbol. It's down at the bottom. There are words. You can read words. Anyway, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of all of these lands, and I love that they're just part of the deal now. Makes me happy. We're also seeing a shift.
So I'm so tired.
I love it.
Fine, everything's fine. I'm fine.
So what are your feelings about night streaming? Anyway, yeah. Oh, it's fun when your work schedule shifts from like middle of the day and it's very normal to the absolute middle of the night.
Readjusting coming back from Missouri for like 8 days.
Yeah. Well, I suppose the holidays were.
It was very nice. It was just
sure
a different fucking time zone, and everybody wakes up during like normal world hours except me. So I'm waking up late as hell. I've missed like the whole morning, and everyone's like, all right, let's go do that thing. I'm like, let me go take a bit too long in the bathroom and make us late. And then we can go.
Yeah, exactly. So what? Yeah. So what's for breakfast? Well, we're having lunch, and that's.
let me go against my better judgment and go for the eyeliner and make us late.
I have no idea what that's about. No, I cannot relate in any.
That's best.
The eyeliner looks great though. Let's be honest. Yeah. All right.
Oh my God. Sorry.
And I'm over here having not even shaved because that's the level of professionalism that I'm working with. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to try the Convoke Mom Commander now.
Oh yeah.
I own her.
Okay.
And I know a bunch of stuff came out. When the fuck did it come out? What came out with Convoke? Oh wait, was it just this release?
Yeah, no, March of the Machine had Knight Errant of. No wait, not Knight Errant. What was the?
Was there? I feel like Captain?
There
was
it's one of those
set
OVOs.
that was heavy on Convoke as a mechanic.
Yeah, that was March of the Machine.
That was it.
I believe so.
All right, then never mind. I'm hallucinating.
Yeah, Knight Errant of Eos. That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, this is March of the Machine. Yep.
She looks cool.
So that
aesthetically.
That brought Convoke back. What's the name of that?
Khosla, the Broken Hero. Halo. The Broken Halo. I don't know. This is the one I'm stuck on. Like, I've literally bought Ixal, but I would play Gimbal or I would play this one.
Mm-hmm. Well, ooh. I have another thought.
This sounds fun.
Yeah. So Khosla the Broken Halo, 5/4 for 3 blue, red, white with Convoke. Flying Vigilant Haste. Whenever you cast another spell that has Convoke, scratch you the draw card. Okay. The only thing I dislike about this...
It's interesting.
Yeah, no. I'm glad to agree with that. And there are definitely cool Convoke cards in these colors. You know, you have City on Fire. You have all the... You know, Knight Errant of Eos that we were talking about. A whole host of, like, really cool Convoke things. The only thing that bums me out about this, you don't have access to green, so there's no Court of Calling. That's a little bit of a bummer.
Not having access to green was a little rough, in my opinion, for this one. I'm like, I feel like that's where the Convoke is.
Like, that's the Convoke. Because if you said, there is a commander, there's a Convoke Commander, the very first thing I'm going to think of is, oh, cool, so that's going to give me a place to put my Court of Calling. It's like, aha, ha, 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 about that. Yeah, so that's a little bit of a bummer. But one of the things I noticed, it's funny, in bringing up this picture, I'm looking at it and I'm realizing I've seen it before. Like, you name Kasla, or you say the March of the Machine Convoke Commander. Whoosh, nothing, no clue. You say Kasla, the Broken Halo. Whoosh, also zero recognition, complete dead face, no clue, never heard that name before. But the moment I see this picture, I was like, oh, there was a minute back in Q2 or whatever when a couple of people on Twitter posted this and were talking about ways they wanted to build it. I remember that discussion. I have now guested on a number of streams. This is something that I've been working on this year, and I'm going to continue working on moving forward. Is guesting on more other people's streams, because a lot of great people are doing great things. And I've now, like, parked it in other people's streams and watched more EDH gameplay than I've ever watched before, as far as just sheer, like, content and, you know, quantity goes. I have never seen this card played. Not once. I have never seen anybody even mention that they have this. It's just, I don't know if it didn't, like, it was one that seemed interesting, because, but the moment you say, like, the Broken Halo, you have an Angel ally. So we have ally in the type, which is a whole other kindred thing you could theoretically do with old school Zendikar cards.
And like, Angel.
Yeah, absolutely. An Angel. You can always go places with Angels. And the name, the Broken Halo. It's like, oh, you have kind of the Fallen Angel kind of vibe. Like, this is interesting. It's interesting on so many levels.
And you've got white and Angels. So what up, all chroma? Like, you've got some fun creatures to convoke with.
There's all kinds of options. Yep. Well, and having access to white and blue, this came out in the same set as Arrington Giada. I'm sure that was not an accident. So if you wanted to go with Angels, you have access to that and a whole bunch of other stuff you could do with it. So this card checks a ton of the boxes. However, you have to be kind of creative in how you build it. And I bet, not having looked at the list, I suspect out of the box, it was a little disjointed. And the players kind of had to focus. Like, you either need to lean heavily into the Angel theme, or you need to lean heavily into, like, a token Convoke theme. But you kind of got to pick one, because I bet when you're trying to do them both, it doesn't really synergize. Or you could be the wild card and go full-on allies and see, who knows what happens with that. So, but as a result, I bet out of the box, this was not a great deck. But this card could build a very, very cool deck that could do some really neat things.
Yeah, it seems like it might be fun for people who want something a little bit different. Like, something different than what they normally see. Because I can't think of any Convoke Commander that I've ever seen played in any of the streams I've been on or in any paper game I've ever played.
Yeah, Convoke is one of those mechanics. It's kind of like...
specific.
It's kind of like Kicker. Or kind of like Flashback, where it's not necessarily a mechanic that you want to build an entire deck around, but there are definitely cards that have it that you want to take advantage of. You know, so building an entire deck themed around Kicker, you'd have to include a lot of cards that are maybe not great. Despite, you know, just because they have...
Like, my food deck was just so very... very thematic. Like, there was stuff I could have put in there to make Gaiom strong, but it wasn't on theme. Like,
yeah, the first card
that Lord of the Rings and Eldraine came out, and now it's thank you, Eldraine. My
thank you,
God.
Eldraine. Exactly. I do love it when those archetypes get support. It's like, oh, I get to dust this off.
Knight of Sweet's Revenge.
Oh, Knight of Sweet's Revenge is so good. That card's insane.
Greta.
I drafted once. I was doing a draft of Eldraine.
Commander.
I drafted Eldraine once on Arena, and I actually picked up 3 Gretas. Like, in the third pack, Greta showed up at, like, pick 10, and I was like, shut up. There's no way. It's like, I don't remember what I picked ahead of her before, but, like, she just absolutely wheeled. It's like, okay, clearly I'm the only person in Golgari at this table. This is great.
Love Greta.
She's actually quite strong, yeah. 3 for 3
I'm
with
honestly
upside.
gonna make her the alternate commander of Gaiom.
I like it. That's great. Yeah.
Because I feel like she could step up the deck a little bit.
Also, the way that she's just, like, death gripping that gummy worm. Like, oh, I love it. She's not messing around.
She's bad bitch.
She's a bad bitch. She's the worst bitch. I love it. Yeah, so that's all kinds of lovely. But anyway, so I was thinking of, so this Kasla, I have a theory, and I wonder if it passes the sniff test for anyone outside my head. I think the reason that this commander and so many other commanders, like Bright Palm is another one, where it was like the hot thing for a second, and then I feel like it completely disappeared. But these kind of flavor of the week commanders end up not resonating with people because the hype train is moving so fast. You know, by the time Castle comes out, or his Castle is spoiled, people think for a little bit on what they want to build. Maybe they have a couple of cards laying around, they set aside, get their hands on the precon, try to put it together. But by the time they actually have the card in their hand, the previews for the next set are coming out. And the new commander for them to get excited about is not being presented to them, you know, to the point where a card is now old news by the time you get it. Like, it's kind of wild. And so in the past, I feel like, and check me if I'm wrong on this, I might be speaking out of school here, but I felt like there was this kind of, and maybe this is a more of a personal thing, and trying to apply a community, you know, statement to it. Maybe I'm overgeneralizing. But I feel like people used to have this kind of sense of, well, no, I guess I still see people with it, but there's this sense of, like, maybe not ownership, but like appreciation and identification with their commanders. You know, like, this is my commander. This is, like, when you have your decks, like, this is my deck. And maybe I've had the deck a number of times. Like, for me, I have my 10 of the Harvester deck. That's my Desert Island deck. If I have one deck to play, if I'm playing against a bunch of people for the very first time.
My babies, like, they're my babies. They're my children, and I don't mean it like I literally think they're my children. I put so much work into them and so much effort. All of them. It doesn't matter that I have a bunch. Like, the ones that I haven't worked on in a while, I feel like I'm neglecting
right?
my children.
I get that.
And like, but I panicked the other day because I couldn't I couldn't find one of my quivers. And in there were two incredibly important decks. My Gaio Master Chef deck.
Ooh, yep.
And then my Liaise of Forgotten Archangel deck, which is one of those decks that I built to be diabolical, and it just, like, meant a lot to me. And there's some expensive cards in there. So I was just like, but Gaiom is my baby. Yeah. So it's my baby. I love him so much.
That's pretty great. I'm wondering, what was the set that it came out in? Commander 2021. Okay. Well, and that makes sense, because that was...
He was a precon.
He was one of the precons? Well, and that was around the time when you got back into the game, right? Or when you got into the game.
When I first started,
like, it was relatively
I started playing in 2020. Somebody got me this. I think the commander was actually the alternate commander's Willow Dust. Or maybe it was a commander. Regardless, he was the precon, and it had lots of fun food stuff.
I think Willow Dusk was the commander. Yeah.
Who I did take out, silly enough.
Okay. Hey, that's fine.
Because, and people are like, why are you insane? And I'm like, hear me out. That name has nothing to do with food, therefore it's off theme.
There you go, done. Yeah.
That
when
is,
you gain
honestly,
life with food, don't care.
I'm absolutely never gaining life from food because I'm not paying the 2 to sack the food and gain life. I'm sacking food to a different artifact or creature. So I don't use the food almost ever.
Interesting. Sure.
And I almost don't need to because of the amount of life gain that I usually have in Golgari decks anyway.
Gotcha.
People don't realize how easy it is to hit a life drain combo in Golgari.
It's not hard. It is not hard, especially after Strixhaven. Oh my goodness.
Everybody goes straight to veto. I'm like, Dinah costs 30 cents.
Yep.
I have...
She's right there. She's right there.
40 copies, I'm pretty sure. I have so many. I'm not a complaint. I love her so much.
No, she's great.
You know what's so funny? I post like appreciation posts. I posted her one day. People went fucking insane. They love her.
That's great. I'm glad.
But Commander players love her.
Of course, Commander players love her. Yeah. Yeah, in Constructed, she didn't like.
She didn't do shit in most other formats.
No, during her run in Standard, she was a non-factor. Yeah, in Draft, she was pretty good. I had a couple of good drafts with her, but for the most part, like, no, it was. Yep.
No one really cared, but now.
Not really. Yeah, in Commander, exactly. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So the moment you add, your exquisite bloods, or effects alongside that, done. And this is one of those things where it's like, yeah, Veto's probably going to hit for more chunks, but who cares? You're going to be doing it infinitely. You still win. Like
it doesn't matter. Like who needs it for more chunks? It's stupid. It's
like, haha, each trigger hits for 4. It's like, yes, and each trigger hits for 1. How many triggers are there? Enough.
It's still an infinite unless you legitimately need to see me ping it out. Who gives a
That's one of the things I find really funny. If you're doing infinites, paper, infinites are fine. They're not that bad. On digital, yeah, they're wretched.
Hilarious.
I hate them. I hate them so much. Anyway.
Oh my god, I was playing against my boyfriend.
Okay, as one does.
He was playing his Pantlaza deck. Now, I keep losing to his Pantlaza deck. I keep losing to the Kihira deck I built, which makes me wonder why I'm so bad at Magic.
I've had the privilege of playing against that Kahira deck. You gave him a frickin' monster. That deck is legit. It's very strong. Like when he dropped out the Cathar Commando, I had a moment of like, oh, you came to play, dude. Okay. I had the privilege of playing with Brahan Gozer in Vegas. It was awesome. 10 out of 10 would recommend.
I just wanted him to have fun.
And he did.
And I was so nervous that he wouldn't. I was also nervous that if he played with, like, strangers in a pod, someone was going to be a twat to him for not having, like, really key, like, staples, like, a Cathar's Crusade. I mean, that's not really why I did it, but it was always in the back of my head. I'm like, I don't want anybody to be mean to them. Not necessarily because I don't want somebody to be mean to my boyfriend. I don't want to make him use bail money.
Exactly. Well, but here's the other thing too, though. In my experience with Magic players, most pods, if you know one person is new and they pop off, everybody's cool with it. It's like, yeah, absolutely. Run me over, dude. You got it. Like, it's always fun to watch a new Magic player have that excitement of like, I hit you for, I got you. Yeah, that was enough. Or that moment of like, actually, if you attack me with just these 3, that's enough to kill me. And then you can send that over there, and that's enough to kill them too. It's like those are always fun moments. Watching somebody like light up as they realize, like, oh wait, I think I win this game. It's like, yes, you do.
I'm a little sick of losing to Pantlaza.
That's
at
fair.
This point.
Okay, fair.
Over it. So all of my decks are very, very mid. They're meant to be extremely social. So they're pretty slow. My punchier decks are Conrad.
Yep.
And Tiny Bones, which is arguably my strongest deck.
I believe it.
If it were faster, it absolutely would be my strongest deck. So if anybody wants to send me fast mana rocks, I wouldn't be mad.
So send all of your mana crypts to there's a PO box. We can
It's on my Twitch. I have a PO box. It's great.
Yeah. And I want to make the joke of like, oh, you like Tiny Bones, but anyway, if you've ever, by the way, seen a picture of a Magic Con and there's a really awesome Tiny Bones cosplay, yeah,
it's me. I'm the only Tiny Bones cosplayer that I know of.
Yes. Yeah, and it's lovely. It's a great costume. Yeah.
But I decided I was sick of losing. So he's beat my Conrad, but like that was the one that almost beat the shit out of him, and then I got land screwed.
Oh no!
What else is new? So I decided to play Tiny Bones because I've been threatening him with Tiny Bones.
Okay, yeah.
So I decided to play Tiny Bones.
So it's all about this card. Yep.
Yep. 2 games in a row. It was over by 5.
I mean, if you're playing a ramp deck with a heavy top end and like. Yeah, no, and the other person just doesn't allow you to have cards, you're gonna have a rough go. Yeah, that's gonna suck.
First one, I had a creature out that will, however much you lose, I had Aklataz. So however much you lose, or not Aklataz. Is it Aklataz? Whatever, however much life you lose that much life at the end of your turn.
Oh, is that the Bloodletter of Aklataz? I think is the one.
Yes.
Yeah, well that one...
So that...
that one doubles. There's Wound Reflection or the Warlock class all the way max. That do that at the end step. Bloodletter of Aklataz.
This one. So I had this out.
If an opponent would lose life, they just lose twice that much instead.
I had this
Freaking
out.
gross.
And I also had, I forget what fucking spell, but I cast a spell that makes you lose half your life, discard your half your hand, etc., etc., etc. So I cast that. Immediately, he lost all of his life.
Yep,
he was
that's it.
So then the next game, I pulled into the infinite life drain combo by 5.
Oh, I believe, Blood Tribute, is that the one? Yeah, target opponent loses half their life rounded up.
It wasn't that one. I don't even know which one it is.
Oh no, there's
a bunch of them.
There are far too many. Fraying Omnipotence, maybe?
Yes!
Yeah!
Fraying Omnipotence. I just bought one. I finally bought my first Exquisite Blood. I only put it in every black deck I've ever built. Not even for the combo, just because it's fucking solid and life is a resource in black. I need some. Get
after it. Absolutely.
I'm not paying with my life, honey. I'm paying with yours.
And looking through all the various cards, see this guy. Even Blade Reaper, it has that effect, but only on when it deals combat damage, but when it attacks, you lose half your life rounded it up.
It's amazing.
Card's nasty. This card's nasty, but it's beautiful. I'm a big fan.
It's only 3?
Oh yeah, it's a 1/1 for 1/1 for 3 with no evasion, but it's got morph. So the joke is you attack in face down, you morph it up after they choose not to block it, and then you dome them. Is the idea.
Can you ninjutsu it in?
No, yes. It doesn't ninjutsu itself, unfortunately. But if you have the Satoru Umezawa, that whole thing, yes, you can. The other one that's great is if it enters the battlefield tapped and attacking, the attack trigger never happens. So if you're running Olivia, the Crimson Bride, it's really fun. I have it in that
That's
deck.
Hilarious.
It's quite
that.
fun. Yeah. Anyway, you can do dumb stuff with that. It's great.
So,
anyway, yeah, I was just looking through I did a search for Oracle Half Their Life, and I saw that one. I was like, oh, hey, I know this one. Anyway.
I definitely moved on from Tiny Bones after that second game because he was, like, visibly, like, frustrated. He was like, I can't even get a board state before you win. And I was just like, well, you're a Magic player. You got salty at that.
Yeah, you should. It's funny. There are plenty of cards that are like that, where there are plenty of decks where it's just like, this is going to create salt. It just will, guaranteed. My first Commander deck of all time was one of those.
I only take Tiny Bones out while I'm actively dressed as Tiny Bones most of the time. Because who the hell's gonna argue with Tiny Bones wanting to play Tiny Bones?
You earned it.
That's humorous.
Yeah, exactly. You earned. Honestly, if we sat down, if you like were dressed as Tiny Bones, and we sat down, and you're like, I'm gonna play Helion. It's like, no, you're not. You're playing Tiny Bones.
I was doing it in Vegas. It was the only deck I brought that day.
Of course, that's the only one he needed. Yeah, I love it.
And, of course, I'll be cosplaying Tiny Bones again in Chicago, but I also have a second cosplay.
What? You have a second cosplay?
I won't say who it is. I will say it is to celebrate the Fallout release. It is not a Deathclaw, to so many people's disappointment for some reason.
You're gonna be one of the ghouls from like Fallout 1, right? Like that's.
No, but now I wish I was.
I mean, right? Like, because some of those old school ghouls are freaking gnarly. That's anyway. Nobody would recognize you.
There is a character in one of the Fallouts who's just some random 3-line, 4-line. Push the story forward with this dialogue character who has my IRL last name. Felt awesome. The same way. And looked like me at the time when I started playing.
Well, damn. All right.
I was like, I'm suing. This might like this.
That's wild. It's funny though. Yeah, it's funny as having the first name Graham. Every time I end up running into a fictional Graham, I'm just like, I'm listening. What is going on? Like this name actually found its way into this like TV show, video game, whatever. Like you have my attention because it is not common. It's not uncommon enough to be special, but it's not common enough to. Anyway.
Oh, we should talk about the Lord of the Rings pre-con.
We should. But so you mentioned cosplay real quick. I would love to start doing cosplay in 2024.
Please
at some point. It would be fun. But there's only one character that I currently want to do. And I'm realizing I don't actually know that I really want to do it, but I want to have the option. And And I posted this on Twitter, so I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions, right? I'm not. But I think taking an opportunity to kind of refocus and identify our goals for the time ahead is important. I would love to get to a point where I could confidently cosplay as Bruce Tarl. I think that would be great. I want to just... Bruce is great. Everybody loves Bruce. You know?
Yes, Bruce.
Bruce is wonderful. I'm a big fan. And I want to just do enough push-ups and work out enough so that I can walk around a convention hall with no shirt on and not feel super awkward.
Do you play League of Legends or ever play League of Legends?
I used to back in the day. And I main Zillion because I'm weird.
Were you there for Braun? I love Zillion. Were you there for Braun?
Braun? That sounds familiar.
There is a character called Braun who is shirtless, bald with a big ass mustache.
I love it. That's all I needed. It's great. I want to be that guy.
He's like a teddy bear. He's sweet. He's support.
Well, I love it too because when I posted this out there and I was like, I'd love to be able to cosplay as Bruce Tarl. People were like, you have way too much hair for that. It's like, oh, I would shave it. I would absolutely be down to the scalp. I wouldn't think twice. Yeah. Well, I was a swimmer in high school. I have shaved my head before, so it's not like I know what it feels like. And I know I don't have any weird divots in there that are gonna make it look weird. Like I know, like I'm pretty smooth all around. Fair. I'll be okay. Which is not a given.
My head is insane.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, my God. So according to my mother, she had a really difficult labor. Okay. Because apparently I was a massive baby.
Okay.
And I caused such a problem, I almost killed her.
Yikes. Okay.
I've been a nightmare since birth. What could I say? And then I almost died, which was like super fun. My body's been trying to kill me since before I was technically born.
Fucking yikes. All right.
But my stubborn ass was like, bitch, no. I've been cooking for 9 months. We're doing this. Enough.
Oh, no. You thought you get... No. We're doing this. This is happening.
I'm up. We're going.
I love that idea of a baby, like, critical condition, like, no. This is... You don't understand. No. We're doing this. This is happening.
I mean, the stories my parents have told me as a kid... Specifically the age of 4, for whatever reason, I was in no way afraid to look at an adult and go, no. No.
I don't doubt that for a second. All right.
I still have no problem looking at an adult and going, no.
That's something I've always struggled with and still do.
You think I'd be a mono blue player?
I mean, yeah, if that's, yeah.
No, but I'm sneakier than that.
You know what?
Hence Demir and Golgari and Sultai.
There you go.
Why? Black.
Yes. It's great. I'm a big fan.
Did you play any of the Lord of the Rings pre-cons?
Yes, I have. I did a little bit with I played against the Sauron pre-con a number of times. I never played it myself, but I did play against it a few times. Which is funny because that one is insane. It's funny. That one, you do nothing for like 6 turns, except ramp up a little bit and be a non-factor. Then you cast your commander once, and you take over the entire game, and it becomes arch enemy immediately. It's kind of shocking.
I have the other Grixis Sauron.
Yeah.
Started, and I have a fuck ton of cards for it. Here's the problem: I don't know where I put the box with the deck.
Yeah, I can't help you with that. I'm afraid.
And there are a lot of cards in there.
Yeah, but yeah, Sauron the Dark Lord. This one is insane. This card's real good.
Yeah.
It's really so good.
We're doing that the week of my birthday for the Salt Factory in February.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Very nice. I take it that's
gonna be 36.
36. Let's go. You'll have to see it.
Gross.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. You're still comfortably mid-30s.
And like 2 weeks later is Chicago, and then the following weekend is my boyfriend's 40th birthday.
Oh shit. That means I should get you something for your birthday in Chicago.
10th ever birthday, because he's a leap year birthday.
Oh, nice.
It's
all right.
technically his 10th ever birthday.
That's amazing.
So his birthday theme is 4D10, and he's gonna like have people roll D10s for little like funky little accessories.
All right, that's cute. I like it.
And it's being hosted at a board game cafe.
That sounds wonderful. Oh my goodness. Love it. That's fantastic.
It's very cute. It's cute.
No, that's fantastic.
Sorry.
Very cool. You're fine.
I haven't actually played any, nor played against any of the precons. I do have the Hobbit one, and just for some reason keep forgetting to even try it.
I have played with that one, and I
have a complaint.
Well, what's that?
And I don't think this is okay, all right? And Watsy, I'm going to consider this an injustice that needs to be corrected.
Okay.
The Hobbit precon.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why the world's most annoying NPC got his own cardboard card, but the hero of the Lord of the Rings himself, Samwise Gamgee, did not.
What? Sam has a card?
Sam didn't get a cardboard, thick, chunky commander card in the deck, in the commander deck. Only fucking Frodo did.
Wait. Like the big...
It's not big anymore. They have, like, it's just, like, the thick cardboard foiled version of the card. I don't know what it's for, but it's for the front of the package, I guess. Only Frodo got one.
Huh. That's odd. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Like, I understand it's for the packaging, but you do see, Watsy, how pretending like Sam isn't the most important, driving force in this story, as he is in fact the hero.
He pretty much is, yeah.
To Frodo's useless ass.
Frodo kind of is a punk bitch for the vast majority of it. Like, he's
an NPC.
He's an
NPC. This is an escort mission, and somebody needs to get him a mount.
Oh, that explains it. That's why he becomes a little more insufferable at the end.
Think about it.
This is Sam, actually. Yeah. Oh my goodness. You realize we need to make a supercut now of like moments from the film with like a video game overlay.
Oh, shit.
It's like, I'm going to Mordor alone, and I'm coming with you. Quest accepted.
Yeah. Just
anyway.
Sorry, I'm moisturizing. I know it again looks absolutely crazy whatever I'm doing off stream.
It's all good.
So yeah, that is my only complaint, as I haven't played any of them yet.
But he doesn't get the fancy version.
I really don't get to play Magic for fun.
Yeah.
Almost ever. I'm just so busy at this point. I never get to my LGS anymore, and not having a car in an area where there's public transit doesn't go anywhere you need it to, but it's there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I need to play that. I have it. Abzan's fun.
Abzan is fun. Agreed. But yes, I completely agree about Sam. Honestly, Sam is one of my two favorite characters in the entire franchise. And that's saying something because there are a lot of amazing characters. The other one being Eowyn, Fearless Knight.
Yes.
Who is backwards on the screen right now. But y'all get the idea. She's great. She's
a bad bitch. Man.
She's the best bitch. I'm a huge fan. Huge fan.
I am no man.
To the point where when...
fucking tattoo.
Yeah, right? When the Lord of the Rings got announced, when they announced that they were going to do a Lord of the Rings set, like before even any of the cards showed up, I was just like, I'm building an Eowyn deck. Like, that's just going to happen.
I literally don't care what she does.
Like, I don't, it doesn't matter. It's like, what color is it? Whatever. Like,
I didn't plan on building anything. I didn't really, this isn't my universe. So I was like, this is really fun. And I'm excited that it exists, but like, it's not my universe.
Yeah.
I'm still excited, like stoked about Paragon Took immediately went into my food deck, obviously.
I mean, yeah. No, for me, yeah, Lord of the Rings, the excitement that you are feeling for Fallout, I felt for Lord of the Rings. Like, that was very much, and a lot of people did, obviously. I mean, yeah. I don't have any kind of tattoo showing my fandom, so you got me beat there.
We have slightly different aesthetics, I think.
A bit, I suppose.
Sorry, hold on, I have to wipe my nose.
You're fine. Me. Yeah. See, I've got the young at heart. I've got the young at heart suburban like dad thing going, and you don't.
Hey, what up, Chuck? Yes, I do not own any New Balance, and there will be no New Balances in my future.
Oh, and meanwhile, I'm more than happy to help you with your Capri Sun straws, and I can show you a good technique. So
I need help with Capri Sun straws.
I can show you the tricks. I know a couple tricks. Fun fact, go at it from the bottom of the bag. How often are you going to actually set the thing down? Think about it. Anyway.
You don't. You chug it.
You don't. You slam it. It's what, yeah. It's what, 6 ounces? You're not getting, come on.
One
what are you doing?
sip. It's one sip.
Exactly. That's a shot of juice. You're fine. Anyway.
Juice.
The moment somebody told me that, I was like, shut up. You can't actually do that. And sure enough, it's like, poop, like easy as pie's right there. It's like,
what?
I don't have to do this from now on.
Like
just
what?
like how, if you ever have trouble peeling a banana, this is going to sound insane. This is going to sound absolutely insane, but trust me, just do it. You just take it and crack it in half. That's it. It just
crack
pops.
it the opposite side of the bend.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. You crack it against the bend, it'll just...
That's actually how you do it in restaurants. Because unless you have gloves on, you're not allowed to touch the banana.
The fruit that people will eat, yeah.
Yeah, so to get it out, you have to crack it like that and peel it from, like, the middle out.
Yeah.
And push the thing out into whatever your container is so you don't touch it. I worked at Starbucks.
Got it. Yeah. Well, and it's hilarious, too. Because when you do that, we're glad you survived. I don't know why I'm going, like, yeah, this is a fun little life hack about your fruit bowls, which, fellow suburban dads, I know you all have these. So, the funny part about it is when you do that, you would think that a banana is like a mushy, soft thing. That would be like probably, but no, it's like a clean, crisp edge. It looks almost like you cut it with a knife. It's wild. Anyway, yeah.
It's great.
Anyway.
Now I'm just thinking about that legendary creature that makes bananas.
Uktabi!
Uktabi!
Uktabi! Or Kibo! Uktabi Prince! It's Uktabi Kong is another thing. Uktabi is the region, but yes. Kibo! I love Kibo. Fun fact. Baby. I met Anna Margaret for the very first time when she played her Kibo deck against me. And yeah, it was great. And I was the jackass who brought Kami of False Hope and Spore Frog to the table because I'm a monster. She's like, I just want to hit people with monkeys. And it's like, and I want to prevent it. I'm sorry.
I just want to hit people with monkeys.
And it was literally, and yeah, anyway, no, she's wonderful. Big shout out to Anna Margaret. She's great. But
she's in my next salt factory.
Oh, yes, that's going to be a party.
I'm nervous.
You're going to be fine. Her decks are not messing around, though. But
I know. Why do you think I'm nervous?
Fun fact, again, yeah, she was, I believe, first in that pod, and her turn one was like, I think it was like Shockland. It was like Stomping Grounds, Shocked In, Ragavan. It was like, what is happening?
Speaking of disgusting.
Anyway, yeah.
A precon that was disgusting. Eldrazi Unbound when Commander Masters came out, and we got the Planeswalker party. We got Eldrazi Unbound. We got Enduring Enchantments with, what's her name?
That one lady with the thing. Anixia, yes.
And we got the Slivers. And, was that it on that one? Oh, we got, we got that. Anixia, the enchantment one, I cannot not think of Tabletop Jocks when I see that card, because when that first came out, Black Nato from Tabletop Jocks built her.
Okay. Yeah.
And she's a black woman. So he posted, I built Anixia with the good hair, and I could not breathe. I could not breathe. It was so funny. Oh my God.
Such a beautifully subtle joke. I love it.
I will forever think of that fucking tweet.
Oh, that's what short form. Those kind of jokes are what short form platforms are for. I love it. Oh my goodness.
I'm like, I associate him with a Sithis deck, so I just associate him with Enchantress decks at this point.
Yeah. Oh, can we just talk about?
It's not even his favorite card.
That's amazing. Can we talk about how absolutely fucking absurd it is that Enchantment's identity is do the thing, draw a card, and probably gain life while you're at it? Like, what the hell? Like, why do they get away with that? Anyway.
Like, let's see. Stop. You've done enough. They don't need it.
Like, draw a card. Those are the 3 most powerful words. And you have 15 different things to say when you can't play an enchantment or when an enchantment enters. You just draw a card? Like, what the hell? Why is that a thing? Anyway.
So,
I have
Did you
thoughts.
play any of the Commander Masters pre-con?
I did not, because I am not a Rockefeller. Yeah,
Yeah, those were in fact quite pricey. Most people I know did not get a hold of them. Honestly, the people I knew that had them and were able to get them out to people were the ambassadors.
Yeah, who got them as promotions. Yeah, exactly. So, also, I'm curious, did we ever figure out who the hell Zula...
To the ambassadors, thank you.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No, no, nothing but love for the ambassadors. Yeah. Honestly, and for the record, I'm gonna go ahead and on the record, you know, inappropriately and unassumedly speaking for all the people who did not make it into the ambassador program. Any ambassadors out there, if you got any flack, it's pure jealousy because you're in an awesome position and we all wish we were. So keep doing what you're doing, keep kicking butt. Congratulations on getting recognized because you deserve it. So yeah. And there are just a whole bunch of us out here who I like to think also deserve it, who I hope WotC can, you know, hook us up at some point. But yeah, the whole, whether the pro, I know, right? Like, hey, WotC, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, anyway, so it's one of those things.
Yeah. So I don't, the Sliver one was really expensive and the Eldrazi one was really
expensive. The Eldrazi one got obscene. And I'm also curious, did we ever figure out who the hell Zuladoc was as far as the lore is concerned? Because the Eldrazi, there were like 3 Eldrazi Titans who were the big deal. There was, you know, Ulamog, Kozilek, and the other one, you know, Emrakul. Yeah.
The other one.
And the rest. But and then like they put out Zuladoc, and it's like, here's a legendary Eldrazi. Like, I thought the 3 Eldrazi Titans were like, I thought the 3 Eldrazi Titans were like the Eldrazi Titans. What is this? Like, what?
I'm too early to this game. I'm too new to the game. I don't know shit. I'm a Zoomer.
Which is funny, because as a Magic Gen Xer, you'd think I would know these things, but I do not. Anyway, so yeah, with Zuladoc, like, when they previewed this, they're like, by the way, there's an Eldrazi commander, and I feel like the Vorthos community had a second of going like,
everybody's like, Emrakul.
It easily could have been another Emrakul. I don't think anyone would have thought anything of it. But no, it's this other character, and
this is some guy.
It's a dude. It's an Eldrazi dude, we think. I love how, I don't know, I find it fascinating, the discussion about pronouns as it relates to fictional characters, because there are a number of them where it's like, yes, they do go by one or the other very clearly, and okay, great. But we're talking about Eldrazi. These are the projections of mythical beings beyond the veil of time and space.
Yeah, they literally don't have genders.
Do you think this guy gives a crap about pronouns? Like, I find it hard to believe that, like, it even applies. Yeah. And so this is one of those, it's probably a they-them situation, or even an it.
Just use they.
You know, I don't know.
Just use they.
Let's just use they. We'll keep it simple. Yeah.
It's totally neutral, so it kind of just covers everything.
Let's cover our bases on this one. So, yeah.
I know I use neo-pronouns, but I don't really even bother telling people them half the time, and I just go with they.
Oh, yeah, and I'm positive I would mispronounce them and get them wrong and confuse them and make a total ass of myself. So
makes you feel any better, I also mispronounce them.
That does, actually. I find that very comforting. Thank you. All right.
I misgender myself constantly.
That is something that as a cis dude, I don't understand. But I don't have to, you know?
I mean,
I trust that it's valid.
How to talk about yourself after however many decades you had to learn how to talk about yourself.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah.
That, and I have to code switch so often because I'm not out. I'm not out to my family at all.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that. Huh.
I'm like out in my gaming career, end of list. And like my personal life here in Philly, but that's it.
Well, that's wild, because that's the you I know. So, yeah, that's interesting.
So I just have to constantly code switch between, like, who I am and who they wanted me to be.
That sounds really upsetting. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Sometimes I get to shut them up with funny things. Like, my dad was like, I liked you better hair short. I liked you better with your hair long.
Okay.
I said, I like you better with your mouth shut.
Hey, there it is.
He just laughed. He was like, all right. And he just didn't bring it up again.
That's great.
Sometimes I just got to be really mean about it. But as long as it's funny, then they learn a lesson.
I love that. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Nah, put it out there. Call it what it is. That's great. Yeah. No, I'm all for it. And you know what? It's funny though. And I guess, I don't know if we have more pre-cons to discuss or, you know, there's plenty to go through, I'm sure. But on that note, one thing I just want to say, I think it's important for everyone out there to find the situations, the places, the people with whom you can be your most authentic self. I got the privilege of going to, you know, 3 of the Magic Cons this year. I didn't go to Europe, unfortunately. I hear it was great. But I did go to all the other ones here in the States. I was very fortunate to be able to pull that off. You know, and don't worry about me mentioning that I was, you know, behind on bills earlier. But anyway, but we made it happen. And one of the things I realized, being in a convention hall of like 10,000 other people, I realized that like I'm a nerdy guy with these weird esoteric jokes, and everyone here gets it. Like, oh, this is nice. Like I don't know. I
feel more comfortable unmasking my autism at a Magic convention or a game store than anywhere else on Earth.
Yeah, I absolutely believe it. So I feel like the moral of the story, the takeaway there, find whatever it is in your world, whatever it is in your life, find the people and the places where you can be your true self and spend more time there and more energy focusing on that stuff, because that's the good stuff.
Self-care.
That is self-care. Take care of yourself. Do it up. Self-care is not just a cup of tea and a warm bath after a stressful day, although there's nothing wrong with that. But
it's also buying yourself Magic cards.
It is. It absolutely is. So if you're like, hey, you know what? I need that Aowen Commander deck. Just do it. Also, Aowen Fearless Knight is like 20 cents. There's no excuse. Just go do it. Because when people were trying to open up the One Ring or Orcish Bowmasters, it was one of those rares where they're like, oh, this again, damn it, and throw it away. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So get after it.
Eldraine only had 2 pre-con.
Really? I didn't realize that.
It had Virtue and Valor, which was Selesnya Aura Enchantment deck.
Okay.
And then Fey Dominion, which was fairies. And that is it.
Both of which are very easily forgotten, unfortunately. All right.
I love fairies as a kindred. I immediately built Obira. It's fucking awful and needs a massive retooling because apparently fairies are only 4 drops and it is a very annoying deck to play. You can't get anything on the field before the game ends.
I believe it. When fairies are weird too, mechanically speaking, they just line up with in 1v1 so much better than 4 players. It's not even funny because they're great.
A lot of them are related to flash and instances.
Yeah, so as a result, exactly, flash instances, they lean into like tempo, which when you're trying to tempo out a commander pod, that's not a thing. You can't do that. Starting life totals 40, 100 card decks, you're not doing 1-for-1 interactions that are in any way favorable.
So we're gonna have to lean more into changelings and probably. And I may or may not have a Maskwood Nexus and a Rooftop Storm in there.
It's always a Rooftop Storm, when in doubt. It's funny. I recently had to cut my Maskwood Nexus out of my Aowen deck. I had a Maskwood Nexus in there, and I realized in looking at the list after a little bit of tooling, I realized I only had 1 Typal Matters card in the entire thing.
So it didn't matter.
It was Magda, to be fair, and like Maskwood and Magda go really well together. But it's like in most, if I don't get Magda, Maskwood does nothing other than being a really inefficient token generator. Like, this is terrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, I gotta pull that. There are better places for this. I know it. Anyway.
Although I do need one for my Nira deck because it is dragons, and I got a lot of stuff that's not dragons. However, I would just like to put this thought in everybody's head. Kinder Discovery, Maskwood Nexus, Ragavan. Hilarity ensues.
I mean, that seems pretty good.
Hilarity ensues.
That seems pretty good.
Ragavan.
I'm here for it. Ragavan silly. So yeah, Ragavan,
who is my March pod, I might add.
Of course it is.
And I have Ragavan himself, aka Veggiewagon, in the pod.
Of course. Absolutely. That'd be a miss if you didn't. Yeah.
And I might need a 4th because Dark Pack Cosplay is such a sweet bean, but they totally did not realize when they signed up that it was 4 of the same commander.
Yeah.
So they just played in one of my pods. They played in my Joda pod, which was fine. They quickly changed out a dragon commander.
Okay. Sure.
But they don't have a Ragavan deck. They're like, I'm gonna have to drop because I didn't read, and this was me being stupid.
Oh no. Sure. Oh my goodness.
I'm like, I wish I had some spots open this year. I would have three and want to see if you had any of those. So now I got to start thinking of people for 2025.
Oh my goodness. The way that you schedule those streams out in advance is so wild. Yeah. Yeah, because you're the only person I know who does that, which, mad respect. It's awesome. I've had so many times when I'll mark it on, like, you'll reach out, we'll set it up. Okay, great. I'll mark it on my calendar, but it's like for 3 months out, and I will just forget about it because I just don't think in those terms. I was like, oh yeah, we got a stream coming up. Okay, cool.
And then one day it's just on your calendar.
And then it's just there. And it's like, and then you're like, hey, how's your Niv visit deck going? My what? Oh crap!
Set it and forget it, and that's part of the reason. Like, I'll reach out 6 weeks beforehand with a job form or a calendar lily thingy. Just like, get it in your calendar, have it remind you. Here's some forms because I'm ridiculous. Thank you very much.
If by ridiculous you mean fastidious and professional, then I absolutely agree. So yeah,
I try to cover my bases.
Yes. And speaking of which, I have questions about that one shot later, but we can talk about that offline. Because that was another one I agreed with a couple months ago, I believe, and I was just like, yeah, absolutely. And I'm looking forward to it. I just want to make sure I'm ready. That's all. Anyway.
I didn't play any of the precons this year. Now that
really, not any of them.
None. And again, I have the Hobbit one. I just haven't played it. No good reason.
Which is funny though, because I've played against most of these precons. I don't think I've actually sat down and played with any one of them. It's funny, when I mentioned the Aowen deck, you may notice this is Aowen Fearless Knight, not the Jeskai Aowen, which was the face card of a precon. That was a thing. Yeah, there's, what is it, Aowen Shield Maiden, which is actually a commander-ass commander. Who's awesome, by the way. I dig it. It's a
commander-ass commander.
It's a great card, but I prefer Aowen Fearless Knight because this is one that was in the base draft product. It's only 2 colors, was not designed explicitly to be a commander, which this one clearly is. Like, I don't know, like Aowen being blue, I don't know, that doesn't really feel... that doesn't vibe with me. I don't know. For some reason, I don't love it. The other thing is Aowen Fearless Knight mechanically is clearly designed to be the fun police at the table, and I kind of love that. Yeah, because she specifically...
I was just reading her ability again. The precon of Aowen.
Oh, yeah, the precon one, Shield Maiden. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if another human entered the battlefield under control this turn, you create 2/2 red human night creature tokens with Trampler and haste. Then you control 6 or more humans, you draw a card. So it's token stuff. It's human token go wide.
Yeah.
Thing. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's something about that didn't grab me. And I knew I loved this character, and I knew I wanted to represent her.
Wanted something badass.
Completely honestly, I
also can understand why the blue would bother you. That doesn't make sense to me, but
it doesn't. I don't know. Like, not that she isn't smart and doesn't pursue knowledge necessarily, but that doesn't seem like it's core to who she is. You know? So I don't know. The blue just seemed like they added it so that there's another color you could build around. And like when a commander just has another color tokenly thrown at them, you can tell, and it's annoying, and I don't like it. Because it's just like, this is just a commander thing for commander. And you see that sometimes, too, with, like...
Naya would have made more sense.
Yeah, I could buy that. Yeah, sure.
If you want to make her 3 colors, just swap out the blue for green.
Yeah. No, the only colors that I think...
more sense to me.
Yeah, it's funny, because the 2 colors that I think would actually absolutely just not make sense with that character are black and blue. And they gave her blue. It's like, okay, yep. And so... whatever.
I can agree.
Right. But this one I really love because I also feel like it captures the character better. Because, so, this is a 3/4 with haste for 4.
Boros makes sense to me for her.
Boros checks out. Yep. Like,
that's the thing that makes sense to me for her.
It fits. And when Aowen Fearless Knight enters the battlefield, you exile target creature an opponent controls with greater power. Then legendary creatures you control gain protection from each of that creature's colors until end of turn. So it gives you an evasive ability to attack against a player after you've removed their biggest creature. And it is dumb, and I love it. It is,
fuck you.
Fuck you. And that's very much the, you know, no man am I moment, where it's just like, nope, whack. And I love it. And I have very visceral memories as a high school kid reading The Return of the King and getting to that moment. And in the book, that moment is just like, in the movies it's good. In the book, it is 1,000 times better if you have not read it before. Like, that's the problem, is you can only read it for the first time once, which really sucks. But I remember the first time I read that moment, and I got chills. It was so good. Because, okay, I'm gonna nerd out for a second. But we did a whole episode of you nerding out about Fallout, so I feel like I'm gonna take my moment.
Go for it. I won't shut up about Fallout.
So in the books, Mary is driven, or gets a ride to the Battle of Pelennor Fields with a knight named Durnhelm, who's just some dude who never takes his helmet off. And they don't explain who he is for the majority of the time that Mary's with him. And there's not a big deal, but there are some events that occur between the camp and the battle where this character of Durnhelm, whose voice is a little muffled behind their helmet that they never take off, where they do a little something and they interact with Mary a little bit, and Mary has does not recognize this person at all. And it is presented as a new character we just met, which throughout the course of the books, there were a number of one-off characters who showed up, did a thing, and then fucked off, and you never saw them again. They were all over. In the movies, they cut most of those characters or consolidated the events. You know, like friggin' Liv Tyler showing up to ride Frodo to the Brognon Fellowship.
You know,
that was a dude.
We should redo that movie, considering how it wasn't 100% on book anyway, as movies really can't be 100% book.
Yeah,
anyway.
not really.
Let's just do a reinterpreted. Okay, let's do a different version, and the main plot is Sam treating Frodo the way he deserved to be treated for being a whiny little NPC escort mission little bitch, and Liv Tyler and Arwen, way more scenes. What is she doing? Doesn't matter. We love her. She's great. And I want more Pisces moment Aragon. I want more lamenting into the sunset with a single tear rolling down his eye, dramatic as shit Aragon. Because, like, I'm sorry, but people, like, get really, like, how fearless and brave he was. Yes, he was. He was an incredible fighter and an incredible warrior. He was also a Pisces, and you will never change my mind. All he did was cry. All he did was cry. You would, like, I swear to God, he's like such a goal for so many toxic morons who don't turn around and realize that man was crying over Arwen the whole movie.
I mean,
are you saying that you are pretending to only be part of Aragon?
I mean, that, and I'm just gonna put it out there, Aragorn had a shot at Eowyn and he turned her down. Dude fucked up. You're wrong, dude. I gotta say, you've chosen poorly. Meaning, no offense to Arwen, but you just...
Part of the reinterpretation?
But you know what I love, though? You're just, in your interpretation, you're just like, give Arwen all of the scenes because she's great and we love her. That description does describe the movie we got. You know how much Arwen is in the... You know how much Arwen is in the book? You know how much Arwen is actually in the book? There's like one scene in Elrond's house where Frodo's like, wow, that girl's pretty. And then later on, Aragorn's like, man, I got this great lady back home. And that's about it. That's all you get. Like, she is a non-issue. Like, she is an important part of... And then
the reinterpretation, the man's crying and picking up fistful of dirt, staring into the sunset, like, it's speaking to him directly.
Right. And but in the appendix of the Return of the King, like, Tolkien went on to explain Aragorn and Arwen's backstory, their relationship, and ultimately how Arwen's life played out afterwards. So you get a lot of those outside of the actual events. And what Peter Jackson, having identified that story was the emotional core of Aragorn's character, and he was like, we need to get her in here, and he was absolutely right. I think it totally worked. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. It's a good driving force. But yeah, I would just like people to start acknowledging all of Aragorn's personality, which includes crying every 30 minutes of that movie, every single movie.
For Frodo.
Frodo can sit the fuck down. I love stay there.
I love the idea of Samwise being like, "Shut up and eat your lembas, you bitch."
Like, shut the fuck up, Frodo. Shut up, Frodo.
Calm down. We know it's heavy. Jeez, we got it.
Backhand him and take the ring.
It's like, I can carry it for you. Get out of here.
Like, yeah, I would watch the hell out of that movie. Even Gollum's in on it and just being like, Frodo, my guy.
You are being a little bitch. You are being kind of a bitch. I'm in. I'm so here. Let's do it.
Movie. I'm sorry, but I'd watch this movie.
I'm down. I'm 100% in for it.
The universes beyond.
Let's put that out
titles.
There. Let's put that out there.
Names.
Make it happen.
Gollum, the silly little guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my goodness. But yeah. But anyway, the reason that I love this moment with Eowyn is that the moment that she reveals to the Witch King who she is, is the first time the reader sees who she is. In the movie, they didn't even try that. They didn't even attempt it. They were just like, by the way, this lady is Eowyn, or this person's Eowyn in disguise. Like, okay, we got it, great. And so the moment was just kind of like, all right, cool, this is neat. But it's like, yeah.
Like, oh, I guess.
All right, good job, I guess. Like, oh, you killed that fell beast. That was kind of cool.
I guess.
But yeah,
the one that came out after Eldraine, though.
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Wait, who?
Doctor Who. How many precons were there? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them, of course.
Indeed.
As always, just figured. And we had Masters of Evil, which is a Davros Dalek creator deck.
Yeah, that's important to have
focused on, oh my god, giving opponents bad choices and artifacts is the official theme listed, and that
checks out. I mean, the villainous choice.
The commander is my ex.
Heyo. Ex commander is all of our exes.
Yeah. Then there's Paradox Power, which is the... Who the hell is this? The 13th Doctor. Sorry, I haven't gotten that far. I've never seen Doctor Who.
Okay.
Because this came out, my boyfriend's like, went and illegally downloaded all of it for me so that I could watch it, and I'm loving it.
Oh, okay.
So I get it. I totally get it.
Okay, all right.
Oh god, I so get it.
Okay, cool. I'm glad. Doctor Who was one of those franchises where I watched all of Chris Eccleston, the 9th Doctor, and all of David Tennant, the 10th Doctor. After he regenerated into the 11th, I got to a point where I just got really tired of just, it's a quirky British alien just fucking around for a bit. It's like, is there a goal? Not really. Like, oh, okay. And it's just like, that's it. That's the whole
quirky British alien stuff.
That's just the whole show. Just quirky British alien stuff. And it's like, this is fine. This is fun. I don't understand why people are motivated to come back week over week. You know, it's like, I also grew up watching The Simpsons, and I fell off at one point. And I have dropped in and out, come back, missed stuff, didn't care, and it feels very much like that. It's like episodic goofiness, and if you're into it for certain parts, great.
That to me I love, but I also am the type of person that, like, I really I'm fucking autistic, so I like comfort shows.
Get after it.
So that kind of episodic thing where I feel like I could simply walk away for a while, and if my hyper focus doesn't allow me to watch Doctor Who for 6 months, I don't have to go back and watch every episode ever made.
You really don't. Yep.
There's enough references between them that I can remember what I've already seen. Yeah.
And there might be a throwback that you don't quite get, or like there might be a reference that, you know, isn't as cool because you weren't there the first time or whatever, but whatever, it's fine. At the end of the day, if you want to watch quirky alien bullshit, go do quirky alien bullshit. Like,
quirky alien bullshit.
Yeah, I'm not mad at quirky alien bullshit. The more I talk about it, the more I say quirky alien bullshit, the more I'm kind of selling myself on getting back into it. Actually,
which is perfect.
Yeah.
Which this quirky alien bullshit. The 13th Doctor is Simic. That makes sense.
Yeah,
her deck's based around casting spells, but not from the hands.
Yeah, and I gotta say,
not...
there were 2 cards in this set that got me thinking, holy crap, I need to go watch Doctor Who again. And dinosaurs on a spaceship.
Dinosaurs on a spaceship.
I was like, there are dinosaurs?
Know what that is.
There are dinosaurs on a spaceship? I do not know this one. I don't know this one at all. And that's amazing.
Can't wait to get to that episode.
And then there's, like, I'm assuming it's a similar episode, but flaming Tyrannosaurus. There's just a flaming Tyrannosaurus. And this Tyrannosaurus does not particularly seem to be mad about being on flame.
I'm about to add that to a D&D campaign.
Like, why? Like, what? I don't know what the story is here, but I kind of want to. That's...
Speaking of things I'm adding to a D&D campaign, I'm just going to say this phrase out loud, and then we're quickly moving on. I'm not taking any questions. Necrotic Tarrasque. Yes. Okay, moving on.
Sign me up! Anyway, sorry, continue.
And then we had... the other ones we had were Timey-Wimey, which is time counters, and Suspend with the 10th Doctor and Rose, and then
one of the least new player friendly mechanics introduced in a product that is guaranteed to get in the interest of brand new players.
Yeah. And then historic spells from the 4th Doctor is Sarah Dane Smith, which I do really want to play because white, blue, green is a band which I never play, but that does look fun. But yeah, so Timey-Wimey, I played that against my boyfriend. He got the pre-con for Yule.
Mm-hmm.
I ended up accidentally getting 2, so I also have it. And
there you go.
I think I'm gonna keep it. I'm not gonna play it, but I am gonna like. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I will play it. I want to take cards out of it. That's the thing. I want to kind of cannibalize it.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we played it, and he had a hard time at first with it because it's not the most, like you just said, it's not the most beginner friendly mechanics.
Yeah.
And it's a Zet, which is Zet Jeskai is that in and of itself is so many spells. What he knows right now is Selesnya go wide.
Right.
He plays Aragon and Arwen and Arwen Wed on Brawl as a Brawl deck, and he plays Kahira on Peeper, and then he plays fucking Pantlaza. So he's go wide, many creatures all at once
on the board.
To switch,
play the board.
On the board. So to switch over to a fucking Suspend deck in Jeskai, which he doesn't play blue and he doesn't play red yet, almost ever.
That's
but
intense.
he loved David Tennant because who doesn't?
Who doesn't? Of course,
you don't love him. But he wanted David Tennant. Of course, had to get it. I panicked because by turn 3, he was frustrated.
I don't doubt it. Yeah.
He was getting frustrated turn after turn, and I thought he was going to absolutely hate it, and I had spent 4 months trying to get this goddamn deck down.
Right. Well, and I fear that was probably a common experience with that deck. The number of players
that worries me about turning people off.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are I have a sneaking suspicion there will be many people many years from now who will have this year as I tried Magic that one time. It just didn't do it for me.
Especially because it's the 10th Doctor, so it's definitely the one that people are going to see would want.
That's the one.
The most popular.
Yeah, exactly.
What was released? He was the one that's the character that's the most popular.
Well, because after they revived it, after they brought
the ones that were released.
After the revival, obviously you have the 9th Doctor, who's honestly my boy. I fell in love with that one. I thought he was great. The fact that the 9th Doctor does not have black in his identity.
I did think that was weird.
I dislike that because this dude was dark as hell. He will hurt you, and I liked that about him. I thought that was interesting. Grixis. Oh yeah, he could have been Grixis, or he could have been fucking Rakdos, and I wouldn't have been mad at it, honestly.
Oh yeah, actually Rakdos makes
because he was very passionate, and this is the Doctor
This is the doctor that the Daleks looked at and said, you would make a good Dalek. Why doesn't he have black in his identity?
They called it out in the show. Exactly. Yes. Yeah, he was a killer.
Complete season.
Yeah.
I'm a few episodes into the second season with David Tennant, or the second season period, the first season with David Tennant.
And if I recall correctly, this is the doctor who escaped from the Time War on Gallifrey. This is the one who did everything he could to save his own ass over the betterment of his entire people. Tell me that's not black. Like, yeah, self-preservation. Yeah, selfishness, willing to do like really heinous stuff, like and justify the means action. This is the guy. Like, it takes. Yeah, whatever it takes. Like, and I don't think they. I'm assuming that people at the BBC just refused to, or I'm assuming that somebody, whoever they work for, just said we can't have a doctor with black in the identity. Like, just hard no. Nope.
Hopefully not.
Because there's this idea that, like, black is bad and white is good. And the reality is, in Universes Beyond... Yeah, I think that's super weak. And on top of that, they've worked very hard in recent sets to...
Celestial magic can be used for evil.
Heliod is a murderer.
Heliod is a war criminal!
He's the embodiment... And Elishnorn is mono white. She's a fucking monster. So like these are beings that are the embodiment of that color. Like white has been the most evil color in recent story, and on top of that, Liliana is one of the heroes, but she's definitely black.
Like no other colors.
Yeah, but at the same time, yes, she is seeking power. She has selfish motivations, but she will help those around her and use those powers for good.
Yeah, black doesn't mean evil. It doesn't mean evil. Dark.
It doesn't mean evil. It means ambitious. And oftentimes those go together, but not always. Yeah. And but in Universes Beyond, I think they shorthand it. And I think that like all good characters, if the character is very, very morally upstanding and good, they get white. And if a character is bad, they get black. If they are loose cannons, they get Rakdos. If they are the big bad, they get Grixis. That's just
the Davros deck is Grixis.
Yeah. Yep. And that's exactly what you see is the villains in this set. And the Master is another villain who is portrayed Grixis. It's like, why do we have to have why is that the default? I'm not saying they're wrong in these cases. I don't know these characters well enough to really go into the deeper points there, but I don't know. I would challenge that. I'm very, very curious. Oh, no, actually, the Master isn't... I'm sorry, the Master's not Grixis. He's got a couple of different incarnations as either Rakdos or Dimir, depending on which regeneration. So, anyway. But, anyway. But they're within Grixis, within the Grixis pie. That's where evil goes, I guess. And
my boyfriend ended up enjoying the timey-wimey deck, and I got my butt kicked because it went.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on. I don't know if I probably could have played better if I knew what was going on well enough to play.
Suspend is When that's actually, it's funny you mentioned that. I've played against
so much going on at once on that board that like he's like, and I time travel 87 times on this card, on this card, on this card, on this card. I'm like, I'm gonna take a nap. Tell me when you're done.
Yeah, no, I kind of have the same feeling because that particular I've played against a couple of decks that are heavily themed in Doctor Who. Not even necessarily just that timey-wimey deck, but when all of the suspend counters get going, it gets to a point whereas from the opposite side of the field, I can look at the board and I identify, here we have a whole world of new cards that I really can't reasonably be expected to know at this point, even as an entrenched player. And it's all, I see a vast array of face-up information that should be at my disposal that I should be able to use to make decisions. But the amount of noise coming off of one board to try to parse is so much higher.
Now that being said,
yeah,
I really want to do a timey-wimey pod.
That would be wild. I'm not opposed to this idea. But so if you're playing Doctor Who themed cards,
I just want to host it because that's just stupid.
No, you other poor bastards actually play it. I'll just do commentary. Yeah. That'd actually be really fun. I'm down for this. But yeah,
I can finally let Doggo in a pod again.
There you go. Yeah, he'll find a way to put rats in it. Don't worry.
You're not allowed to change it. It has to be the base precon. That is it. No rats. No persistent petitioners. No Shadowborn apostles. Not even the limited ones that can go above 4. No Nazguls. No fucking dwarves.
I'm trying. Are there any of those jumpstart lands that feature rats? There's got to be, right? Anyway, swap out the basics just to be just rats. Anyway,
you want, I would ban them. I would make them change them right on the fucking board. I shut off the camera.
I love it. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Oh my goodness. But anyway, so if you're playing any of the Doctor Who themed cards out there, just be willing to be open and upfront and help your opponents understand what's going on. Like, if they make a decision and you have reason to believe that they did so without the knowledge of something you have on your board, like, volunteer that information. Like,
I forgot. Wait, I'm not getting rid of the timey-wimey deck. It's got Farewell.
That's all you need.
It's got the Farewell reprint, which means Liaisa gets an update.
Whoop, whoop. Let's go.
Now we're pimping out Liaisa. So if anybody has any fucking good white exile cards that are not Swords or Path, because I have like 87 copies of those. Otherwise,
I love that when people are like, dude, I have the perfect tech for this. Have you heard about Swords to Plowshares? Like,
yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yes.
According to EDH Rec, it's like the most. What is it? And it's the most popular instant ever.
I believe it, and it should be. It's great. But
it's Path, one of the two, but I'm pretty sure it's Swords.
Swords has Path beat pretty significantly. I understand. I think a lot of people don't play Path because the ramp is seen as a much higher downside.
I don't like the ramp. If I'm playing higher power, I won't necessarily put it in. I actually don't think I have it in Liaisa, but Liaisa again is meant to be like, no one's having fun but me.
But the thing about Path to Exile that I think a lot of people don't realize is it has the ability, I mean, it is removal, obviously, but it also has the bonus of being a white rampant growth. I think a lot of people don't realize that. It's like, if you just have a token lying around, if you have like a 1/1 soldier or a squirrel or something you don't care about, just turn it into white.
Your own shit, yeah.
Yeah, boom, done. It's very easy to do.
Sometimes I build extra land destruction in my Gitrog deck, and it is not for opponents.
Right.
Like, I build Ghost Quarter into every EDH deck that I build.
As you should, honestly.
Because you need single target land removal.
You really
just do. Especially with the amount of utility lands that have been coming out in the last couple of years. And this year alone.
Yeah, and these and Ghost Quarter or Field of Ruin, all that stuff, it gives them a basic land back. You're not putting them down on lands. They need to, like, if somebody bitches about, if somebody out there, if somebody is trying to rock a Thespian stage or a Nykthos, shut that shit down, and they are not allowed to complain about
it. It's like, you ossification something on my board. Ghost Quarter.
Done. Boom. Beautiful.
Ghost Quarter.
Yeah, you can replace that land. That's fine. I just don't want you having that one. Yeah.
Exactly. Great. And that's the reason I run that card in lower power. Anything that I am saying is in 8 or under, I'm running Ghost Quarter. 100%. Otherwise, I'm running different land destruction that does not allow you to replace shit.
Yeah. There's time for that. Yeah.
And I know that's just me. I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying.
It's a good thing. I've also seen I was in a pod once where the only reason we survived was because of a Field of Ruin.
Yep.
Watching somebody when they draw like 4 cards after
Field of the Dead on the field, and you're gonna look at me and say Field of Ruin isn't a good response.
Agreed. Yeah, no, I completely agree. Well, but in that particular game, it was really fun because someone had resolved an approach with the Second Sun, and they drew like 4 cards. So we were like, it is coming. We know it's coming. Fun fact: Field of the Dead. You blow up a land, and then each player searches their library for a basic land card and then shuffles. It's not a May. You can fail to find, but you did search. You have to shuffle. and so it just shuffled that approach to the Second Sun back in. We never saw it for the rest of the game. There's obviously, at that point, it's pure variance. Who knows where it is? But it was near the top. Now it's not.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So it was fun.
Anyway. I love stuff like that.
Yeah, it's
100%.
great.
So I'm excited that I got Farewell, and now Everybody Lives.
Everybody Lives is...
That's the reason the timey-wimey deck got expensive. But
yeah.
I am happy to say I just saw the episode.
Oh, yes?
And that's also where there's another one. The card that turns everything on the board into one of the creatures that you control, and everything's not legendary anymore. It's blue.
I'm not getting everywhere, I'm sorry.
Nanopence.
Oh! It's Echoing Equation, but with a different name. Yeah.
Something.
Yeah, because there's...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Echoing Equation is the backside of Augment or Pugilist. Choose target creature you control, each other creature you control becomes a copy of it until end of turn. Except those creatures aren't legendary.
Whatever
it's this,
that
but in
was in Doctor Who.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw that episode recently. Yeah. I'm very excited. But
very cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna try playing this one. I want to play against my boyfriend's timey-wimey deck 1v1 just to see what happens, because I think it's gonna be hilarious.
That's gonna get wild. Yeah.
I do want to do a frickin' pod for it, and then after I guess I've done that, I'll cannibalize it and update some things in other decks.
That's always fun. Those commander decks where like you put them together and you're like, all right, you play one game with them. It's like, all right, cool, we're done. And then just take them apart immediately. I've definitely had a couple of those.
I still have to alter my other printing of Farewell.
It's funny. I made an Oathbreaker deck. Carried it around for months, never got a game in, and it became my the base for the Niv Mizzet commander deck.
Nice.
Yeah, because I had an Izzet Oathbreaker deck that I never used, and I thought it was fun. It was goofy. I have no idea if it was good or not, but I just never got an Oathbreaker game in. It was like, and I when building a Niv Mizzet per room deck, it's like, well, I need all these cards, so I'm gonna take them. That's it. Yeah.
I love it.
Anyway, good stuff. So was there anything else that we wanted to talk about? I know we've been running long.
I don't
which
think
is
so.
fine.
The only other pre-cons that came out this year were Ixalan. We talked about Pantlaza.
Yep, Pantzilla. Yep.
I very badly want the Merfolk one, but I have like... As much as I love Eldraine and I want to say like I'm from Eldraine, I don't know. And if I'm from Eldraine, I'm not a fairy like people think. I'd be a Selkie. Like, if I were an Ixalan, I'd be a merfolk.
Okay.
I'm someone who's gonna fuck off, hide in the ocean, and you will not hear from me for 6 months until I choose to resurface. Aquarius. My horoscope friends will understand that, like, that's me! That is me! Peeking out to see if there's people around. There are. I'm going back in the water.
Out. Yep.
But this is from Ixalan. This is from the other Ixalan release.
Yeah, I think this was originally printed in... I want to say Lorwyn, but I could be mistaken. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, Eventide was the original printing. But anyway, but it was in the Ixalan pre-con. Yeah.
I think people are like, you're Fae, and then you're a fairy. I'm like, but I don't think I'm a fairy. As much as I love mushrooms and being in the woods, that's not like my place.
Got it. Yeah.
My place is the ocean. Like, I'm a shark kid.
Nice. Oh, meanwhile, I'm not interested in being underwater at all. Like,
plus,
absolutely
it's
not. Hard pass.
counters and it's explore. And 1/1 counters, I love. Explore is a really fun little mechanic that I'm enjoying a lot. Yeah. I immediately threw some stuff in Gitrog. I was so excited. Yeah. Gitrog has gotten so much fun support this year. Spelunking, like
Spelunking's nuts. Yeah.
I had all my friends at pre-release. I'm like, if you get a Spelunking and you do not want it. So now I have like 12 copies of Spelunking.
Hell yeah. That's a good one to have a lot of. This is one of those where like any green commander deck can probably take advantage of this thing. It's great. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be one of those, if I have the room or I can make the room, it's going in.
Yep.
That looked fun. The pirates are cute. It's Reanimator, which sounds great. Grixis Reanimator.
I'm in.
That sounds fun as shit. I really want the Blood Rights Vampire Commander deck. It's Orzhov with Clavinenyo.
Clavinenyo, first of the blast.
I can't even say, and I'm fucking Latina and I can't say the words. Yeah, vampire demons.
What's not to love, really?
That sounds fun. I'm in. Vampire demons all the way. Let's go. So that seems fun. And then, of course, Pantlaza. But yeah, I very badly want the Merfolk. Check price on Amazon.
There you go. Yeah, just take a quick look real quick. It's funny, though.
I have it on my throne list.
There you go. Hey. Yeah. So I find these, it's so funny, though, because for so many times with these precons, the commanders or the cards that are clearly meant to, like, be the commanders for these decks, like, we have Clavinano, or however that's pronounced, and then there's the new Veto as well.
Veto!
There's the Veto Fanatic.
There's always the alternate commanders that come in the boxes, too.
Yeah, so there's Veto Fanatic of Akazas that was in the set, but it's funny because like it was in the main like draftable standard set, but when you look at this, like it was clearly designed to be a commander. Like it's obviously designed to be a commander. To the point where it's actually like genuinely bad in standard. I've tried it; it's not worth it. It's really bad. Meanwhile,
I have to say, and I don't know if this is a hot take or not, I don't love cards that were designed specifically to be commander-esque stuff.
I'm right there with you. You know the vampire commander that I absolutely
but I don't love it.
The commander that I absolutely adore, that I think is amazing from this set, that's absolutely just genuinely fucking fantastic. Bartolome del Presidio.
Oh my God, Bartolome!
Bart freaking rips. I love this guy. And so this, this design was meant to be a strong utility creature and a signpost uncommon for the draft environment. This is the one I love. Yeah.
He's fun.
He's great.
He's very, very fun. Especially, like, I play so many decks that utilize artifact tokens.
Mm-hmm. Oh, sure.
Because they honestly get past a lot of artifact hate.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
nobody's going to spend it.
Screwing the activated ability on an artifact. And even then, there's stuff I can use to just sack the artifact that are, like, creature abilities. Like, it's not going to, Karn isn't going to shut down my ability to use Dockside Chef.
Absolutely, no.
So for stuff like this,
yeah, and if you're not going to Pithing Needle Bart, we're good. Yep. This card's great.
I'm
great.
in. I love it.
And if you ever have dumb Simpsons references you want to throw out, you can. Because whenever this card gets played, I always have to say, excuse me, my son is also named Bort. It's not clever, but man, it makes me happy. All right.
Bort.
We are out of Bort license plates. I repeat, we are out of Bort license plates in the gift shop.
That was all the precons. We actually got through them.
We got through them all. Check it out.
Very proud of us.
It's like a structured show or something. No,
but
it's crazy.
I do need to get ready to
Yeah, me too. It is definitely gotten late. This has been lovely. All right, so you're doing a stream later tonight. That's fantastic. I actually have a tournament tomorrow that I need to submit my deck for. So.
Oh, the creator tournament?
Yes, the Timeless Creator Clash. I was very excited. So
I've been dying to Nile Joan Rivers.
Yes,
She won't tell us who made her deck.
Oh.
I'm scared.
I'm excited. This is gonna be fun. I might have to face it tomorrow. We'll see.
Like, she makes it, but it's like somebody gives her their list and it's fucking brutal, and then she tweaks it to make it somehow more disgusting.
That's awesome. It's funny. I was working.
Punches everybody.
I was working over the last couple of days to build a. I was trying to do a Reanimator build because I love Reanimator, and I'm gonna force it in whatever formats I can. And I tried it, and even like it just didn't quite work out. The amount of graveyard hate in Timeless was way too high, and it was funny. I slowly morphed from a Reanimator deck into a Sneak Attack deck. Because I did a transformational build. My thought was, okay, I have a graveyard synergy. I'm doing dumb Reanimator stuff. And then in games 2, I can like take all my Reanimator stuff out, put in a Sneak Attack package, use the same threats. Haha, let's go. And then I realized, like, wait a minute. The Sneak Attack package is consistently more consistent, and I'm just winning a lot more with it. It's like
consistently more consistent.
It's consistently more consistent because 90% of the time it works every time. And I just decided, you know what?
I knocked over my pencil holder, and now there's nonsense everywhere.
Oh no! And so yeah, instead the deck that I landed on right now, I'm not confident the sideboard is as dialed in as it could be, but I'm gonna run it and we're gonna make it work. Yeah, I feel very much like it's
just play 4 Blood Moons and then you win. Just only play Blood Moon And then I love Blood Moon, and I don't understand why people get so mad about it. I'm like, it's non-basics. You have mana. You're fine.
I don't have
it
4
gets
blood moons on my
annoying
sideboard.
as shit,
What are you
but at
talking
least
about?
I don't have to ask you to pay 1 every turn.
But the thing is, right now in Timeless, there's so many, like, Primeval Titan Field of the Dead decks, where it's just like, if you get the Blood Moon down before they can fetch up one of their basics, they are sunk. Their game is over, and, like, it's great. So there's so many so many games where I've just been like, 2 lands, Blood Moon, keep it, we're gonna figure it out. And it's like, if I lock you out and I'm left with only a third of my deck at my disposal, guess what? I got a third of my deck. You got like 2 cards in yours, bud. Let's go. Let's go. Like, I like those odds. Let's do this. It's fun.
Never tell me the odds.
Never tell me the odds. And it's funny, actually, when in determining what removal to put in my sideboard, I was like, make it all red, because I'm going to be bringing in Blood Moon. Like, yeah, all of it's red. Bring in the lightning bolts. So do I need 4 fatal pushes? No. I need 4 lightning bolts.
Get Koth in there. Koth and Sarkhan, just dragons and ping and dragons. I'm
ping
building
the
this.
dragons.
Oh God.
Then ping the dragons.
Am I about to build mono red planeswalkers timeless?
I don't hate this. You're gonna have access to Unholy Heat. You're gonna have access to Lightning Bolt. You've got access to Ragged Fan if you want to get saucy.
The fuck I was building the other day, and it was so bad that I was so salty that I'm pretty sure I lost viewers because of it. Like, it was bad. I didn't win a game.
Oh no.
I streamed for 3 hours, and I did not win a game.
That sucks. I'm sorry.
I could not seem to build something that worked.
Timeless is pretty brutal. It is
mono black removal, useless. Useless. Couldn't get anything out. First, the deck I went against most often had Oko and Uro.
Oh, that pile. Yeah, I know that pile.
I was like, I'm over this.
Yeah. It's a whole thing.
So then I built a deck that had protection from blue as much as I possibly could.
Shifted.
But there really wasn't a lot, which was disappointing. So I did my best, but it was still funny. I'm like, hate you. Oddly enough, that deck did better. I still didn't win anything, but I didn't lose as quickly.
There you go. Oh. The reality is you just got to play all the busted cards. Like, whatever the good, like, this, you need to be playing broken cards. Like, the amount of broken cards you need to be running is just absurd. Yeah. It's like, if you're looking at your deck and you look at any particular card in your deck, you have to ask yourself, has this been banned in a format? If the answer is no, you probably have better options.
Don't play it.
Then don't play it. There are better choices. Yeah.
All right, we should wrap up.
But yes, thank you, everybody.
D&D.
Thank you for tuning in. You have D&D to get to. I have things to get to as well. So let's go do those things. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. This has been Hot Soup. We're gonna be back at the weekly schedule now that the holidays are over. So
finally.
And all right, we're back. We're doing the thing. So yes, we'll be here on Thursdays.
I have a doctor's appointment, in which case that only happens sometimes.
Well, yeah, here we go. These things happen. Life happens. But in any event, thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Brujad, always a pleasure. Oh my goodness.
Love you, dude. Of course.
Right back at you. Oh my goodness. Later.